Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you are watching us on YouTube. I just want to specify two things. One, I am dissecting this live blind over on Twitch. I do have some background with Sinder, as in I've reacted to her on my Community Reacts multiple times, but I've never actually sat down and watched a stream, nor have I interacted directly with Sinder. I also want to specify, while yes, this is very tragic for the VTuber community, which I will show stuff at the end of this deep dive to show how people perceive this, do keep in mind, this is not a one-off situation. There are a lot of people in this community, in the VTuber community, as well as the streaming community as a whole, that do this stuff all the time. The only reason why this is big and blew up is because of how huge Sinder is and was. Also, do not attack any of her community. Her community is already suffering as it is, and it doesn't help that there are predatory people out there going, well, I'll be your fire pup. And with that kind of predatory attitude, making shit worse. Don't be that kind of horrible streamer / content creator. Now with that done, said, out of the way, I am going to deep dive. I did come across a lot of things, and there's a lot of stuff that I would love to talk about, but we will get there at this time. I do want to give a shout out to Bella. Because of her, she kept a full document, a thread of who is in this whole shebang, who's responsible, who's in this, who is affected, etc., etc., and it goes a decent ways down. So I grabbed all the important ones, because there are people that some of the timing is very sus. Now, how did this all come out? And this is the only thing I took a glance at. Everything else after this point, no idea what any of it says. Just kind of blind. Let's see here. Do I have... I think I have it. If I don't have it, I'll look it up and add it. But Tectone also made a big thread on his thoughts and opinions. But there was an artist named Nanolus who came out and said they're terminating their work with Sinder, which is huge. Who would do this? Why would you just stop your work with Sinder? So, let's take a look. I wanted to share my experience with Sinder and Red manipulating me, using me and dragging me into drama, while sabotaging, slandering, and spreading lies about people I thought were her closest friends. Not only do I no longer wish to work with Sinder, but I want to share what I've endured over the years and shed light on what she has been doing behind people's back to protect artists and friends that may be experiencing something similar. This is a 17-page document. We are in it for the long haul. Grab your coffee, sit back, relax. I am struggling a lot with writing this document and wasn't sure if what I felt and experienced working was real or just burnout, but I think this proves that I was lied to, manipulated over the course of years while working with Sinder. Please note, based on working with Redacted, Red, Sinder's manager, and Sinder over the years, that I am sure they speak with each other and there is no reason to believe Red was acting without Sinder's consent and knowledge. Whenever I use they or them, it is referring to both of them as acting as a team. English not being my first language and a language barrier, I discussed my situation and my feelings and thoughts with native English speakers who helped me put them into words so everything is clear without any misunderstanding due to my lack of English skills. If you got 17 pages done, you done pretty good. You probably write better than a lot of people reading the document. Note, any names that are censored were censored because the creator in question did not provide consent to have their name revealed at the time of me posting this document, which is nice. Slandering other content creators. I will start with the screenshot showing them speaking ill of other content creators, spreading rumors while manipulating me, that is all in our best interest. In addition to spreading ill rumors, they also complain and accuse Bao of giving their editor too much work, resulting in the editor not having time for new clients, which will be important later on. The screenshots show them showing their affection and appreciation, immediately followed by spreading rumors, lies, and to make other clients appear problematic to manipulate future decisions regarding commissions. Of course, this is an analyst. This is the one who's writing the document. And Redacted is Cinder's manager. So you got that straight away. Of course, I wanted to understand better, especially if I cancel her for a second time. Well, with Blank, she's given a lot of bias and priority at GS, sometimes over Cinder, and we can't really confront them about it. Plus, she's really gone 3D lately. Bal has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked our YouTube editor a while ago and is constantly picking up artists that we work with. We have gotten to know her better, being friends with her. Being better with friends with her, but she really rubs us the wrong way with the things that she does. We want to try and safeguard our most important artist from her, since she's really taken our editor. I do not mean to take it. I can read, guys. I'm sorry, I just woke up. I do not mean taken like he doesn't work with us anymore. He does, but he has to dedicate time to her now and sometimes to get. And that gets in the way of our projects. Also, one of Bal's MV editors is the one that did the Boss Rush MV, and we're 99% sure that she told him not to do any more with us. But, like, our model art is the most important thing. That's a VTuber's entire image. Deep dive these nuts. Be quiet. We will love working with you. Cinder wouldn't be Cinder without Nano, but okay, like, let me tell you the tea. Okay, I see what they mean by complimenting you, building you up, and then dropping the tea. About the MV thing. Bal had original songs last year, the MVs by her editor, and the songs flopped. Her editor met us at TwitchCon and was saying that she loved to work with us, practically jumping through hoops to get something planned. We managed to have him squeezed in the Boss Rush MV between his work with Bao. He said he loved working on it and is super excited to work with the next MV project. Boss Rush's song blew up and he's credited as the editor. I asked him when he's free to do the next project. All of a sudden he changes his mind and is the only working on Bao going forward. No explanation. Pepe sweat. There are some context missing since we know how Bao is behind the scenes, but basically we don't have an MV editor now for our next Boss Rush project. We think Bao got pissed that her editor did an original song MV for her friends without her knowing, and it did 100 times better than her original song last year, and she locked him up so no one else could work with him. And then had him make it public on Twitter that he's only working from her going forward, like a literal announcement tweet. And now she's been barking up the tree one of our live 2D animators, so like you and a nano model. Yes, looking for me sounds sus for sure. Pepe sleep. It's so annoying, man. I don't know, man. Oh, she always has a way of guilt tripping people to get her way. So far, we are only on the second page, and there's a lot to digest here. So Redacted, like they said, compliments them, says, "You're amazing, blah, blah, blah." By the way, here's his teeth, so you know how bad this person is, but in reality, it's kind of a one-sided conversation, and no one knows if it's actually happening or not. And they're saying a lot of things that you're supposed to be Cinder's friend. Or Cinder's supposed to be Bao's friend. They do a lot of projects together, but her manager's going behind her back and doing all this? That's kind of fucking, that's a red flag to me. Red asked me to cancel one of their closest friends, Bao, by asking me to cancel my work mid-progress, manipulating me into thinking it's okay since she has many connections. And she'll be fine anyway, so I wouldn't feel guilty about it or worry too much. It was and is upsetting to me that Red contacted me specifically to check on me canceling the model I had planned with Bao. I got a whole thing up here, by the way. There's a lot of things going on here. I pulled up the important ones. Did you cancel the models? Screaming. I did not. Cry. Pepe cry. Nano arc delayed to 2026. Screaming gift that Barry uses at me all the time. I'm scared to cancel with Bao. Cry Pepe. You shouldn't be. She has many connections. She finds someone super fast. Did you already design her outfit? I remember her showing it us at WeebCon. Yee. I can give her designs for free. I can give her designs for free as an apology gift. Exclusivity and blacklisting creators. In the messages below, they mentioned wanting to exclusively contract, but they didn't want to pay for exclusivity. But rather, when a creator from the blacklist comes asking for a commission, they would guarantee me model work for Sinder only, and if anyone asks me for commissions, they commission me instead to compensate for not working with other creators. This felt very strange given that one of the accusations they made was overworking their editor, yet their solution was to me working with other content creators was for them to essentially overwork me to keep me from working on other projects. So they were peer pressuring Nano into doing all this. At the same time, Nano is gullible and accepting it. I will say that. This is coming off as they are very gullible to this situation. But like I said, we still have a lot to go. The messages below show the primary concern that is more non-Cinder models I make, the less valuable my existing models become. It's hard to say how much this messed with my mind as an artist that by working with other people I have somehow made an existing model less special. It's not true. Following screenshots is of them setting up a blacklist saying, I am not allowed to work with any new clients or create any new model outfits, VTuber 1. Specifically in justifying those things by saying that with each model, my art becomes less unique and special, therefore Cinder somehow will become less special, screenshot below. The idea that my work as an artist and designer is devalued by working with other people is insane and hurtful. After realizing what taking a deal with them would really mean for both my workload and my mental health, I backed out. Like a smart person would. I mean, like, we wanted to have some kind of model exclusivity. What would you need to make that sustainable for you? You can share with me. Can you share with me one of your ideas, and I can check what I think. Okay, so I got some ideas for this, I guess. I was driving. What are you thinking? Okay, so asked for my friends. Help for my friends. They don't know it's you, by the way. So a monthly fee, calculating my monthly earnings. So how long would this be, and if it counts models I've already worked on? Well, the main thing we are looking for is that you are not to take on any brand new model clients and not to make any new model outfits with blank again. You'd still be able to work on model outfits with all of your other existing babies, and your art comms won't be affected. One of our concerns is more nano babies means nano models don't have the same value anymore, which is fucking insane. And the second is that there are few people that we would just rather not be able to have the model from you. It's fucking wild. Maybe not any new babies at all. The reason why I brought this up at all is because there's a lot of bias with other ones of your partners with certain creators. And we'd rather these creators not have what makes Cinder unique, which is your artwork. Just drama that you're causing right now. Clearly in front of me, you are setting up this problem. To want to have exclusivity but not pay for it is going to be insane. But let me see what Redacted really wants. Let's see how he plays out. What about we can pay blank for you, and you don't have to discount it from the next payment, and we'll continue to give you lots of model work. I think for this year right now, but you won't work with blank, blank, blank at all again, models or art. I don't think you've ever done anything with blank or blank before. We also have another GS label for you too, the AFK. Is there any way to add a little bit more since blank still asks for art every now and then? We could do it like when blank asks for art, you tell her no, and then you tell us to buy another piece of art. So that way you still get a job. Hello, PD. So what they're saying is, yeah, I don't want you to work with them because, they overwork people and all that stuff, but we're going to give you a bunch of other work, and so we can, keep you busy and overwork you. So you only work for us, because that means your stuff loses value if you work for other people. How in the hell... Another example of speaking ill of other creators right after they saw I was working with Shy Lily, trying once again to make the idea of working with other clients seem like I am setting myself up with problematic people who will do me no good in the long run, to get me to reconsider working with them. They also continuously kept asking about my other clients' plans, which for them, made the antenna go up and immediately went to slandering Lily. They constantly tried to reassure me that despite their best efforts, they just happen to keep trying to bring drama in as reasons for me to go exclusive, and that only working for Sinder is them trying to look out for me. Hey Nana, did you have any more plans with Lily besides the model? Like outfits, merch, or anything? Been just the model so far? Okay. Her asking for the model recently just made my antenna go up. She's been acting weird towards Sinder lately, and we don't know what's going on. Oh, that's weird. Keke pause. Ever since the V-card launch. V-card launch is a whole different thing. Yeah. But what do you consider weird? Lately dipping out of collabs when they're both part at the last minute, now ghosting her messages. Cinder's raided her a couple times this past week and Lily won't acknowledge Cinder by name. Just weird petty stuff I don't know that you're bringing up. Kinda odd, Keke, pause. That's pretty weird since they both share the same store, lol. Around V-Card's launch, they were talking and collabing and I don't know what happened. But her asking for a model after that was just weird, even though she said she doesn't plan on getting a new model anytime soon. I don't know, I hate that we keep bringing you into drama. Yeah, I thought it was quite early to go for a new model. Blank looked a bit menacing, so I don't talk to her. I feel like we're gonna have to compete with Lily if she keeps ghosting Cinder and wants the same model mama. They're business partners. Something has to have happened behind the scenes. Both Cinder and Lily are co-owners of Gamer Subs, which is already in hot water because of a new person they took on. But something has to have happened behind scenes, and it looks like he's trying to pull people away from Lily now too, as well as all these unlisted VTubers that are probably big, which will probably cover all this other stuff that's on this list. The idea that they need to stay informed and engage the competition is extremely upsetting and toxic to me. The competition they're referring to are people I thought they considered friends, who always helped, supported, and platformed Cinder. When I pushed back the immediate response was blaming the other creators and implying that they initiated it by trying to work me that somehow justified their actions. They implied Lily ignored Cinder when she spent over a minute thanking the raid, which you can see in this clip. Damn, that's wild. I got a Kit Kat break. Alright, anyway, there's a clip of her sitting there thanking her. Okay. Thanks, ad. Thanks, Twitch. Real cry face. Is it just Cinder and Blank you've been doing continuous models outlets for? We'll have a demon update list plus final arcade reference for you as soon as it's finished. I think it is. I have an outfit for Blank 2 planned. As for Blank, got nothing new for now, but she always comes up with something. Note take. Do you know who's rigging Lily's model? Going to be Blank. Dog face. Pyro pup face. Thanks, Nano. Sorry for all the questions. Just gotta stay informed when it comes to our top artists. Never a break. Yes, these are all tab documents, by the way. These are all different documents. Don't worry, just don't stress too much the side things, sad face. It's bad for balding. Pepe smile. I'm gonna go bald now. I'll keep you in the loop. about anything else that's going on. Explosion. No face. The balding. No, you fool. Just the stupid drama. Gotta stay competitive when we shouldn't have to. Also, profile pic looks like the guy with a mustache. Bonk. Don't go too far with competitiveness. It can get bagged. You gotta chill sometimes. Hey, it's not us. Pepe stare. We aren't the ones getting a model from the artist for the other GS owners, Gamer Subs owners, out of the blue and ghosting them and refusing to acknowledge them. Below, I wanted to push back and make clear I was uncomfortable being dragged into drama, and they responded by bringing up more drama, baseless claims, all while trying to guilt trip me. It's ironic and crazy to me that I mentioned not wanting to be dragged into personal issues, only for them on multiple occasions to mention other people's alleged drama. Sinder, I wanted to say sorry for stepping back on the exclusivity deal. I wanted to apologize to you since I've only talked about that with Red, redacted, but I don't want to get dragged into any personal issues like that. After all, blank is still a client and it makes me anxious and kind of destroys my mental to do this kind of deal. I just want you to know that I still love working with you and Red, but I'll understand if things don't work out because of blank. Sag face. I just love my clients, that's all. I get it, Nano, and it was unfair for us to push this on you. It's really confusing to go back and forth on it. Cat cry. I just get compared to her a lot, even still today, and it's like I'm always living in someone's shadow, which is one of the reasons why Red asked about not making other models for her. And when you said I understand that things don't work out, it makes me feel like you're okay with not working with me anymore, which hurts me even more. Man, the fucking guilt trip in this statement. After all this time, I appreciate you, Nana, and decisions ultimately with yours, but this is how I've been feeling. Whatever phrase. I don't really see the point in keeping thinking about being compared to blank, and you're so much bigger already. You've done so much more, and I would never give blank any priority over you. Also, there's not even any model for her being discussed. I just want to sleep clear-minded. Also, fine not doing her models. At least Gamer Subs art stuff would be fine with me. I don't want to be 100% asshole for her. That's all. It's not me, but others people's opinion of us, and trying to get involved with any drama, and other people want to talk to us, comparing us. Talk about comparing us. But I understand wherever you're coming from. Well, I understand where you're coming from, Nano. There's no hard feelings. It sounds like there's a lot of hard feelings if you ask me. Jesus, don't mind me lurking at work. You're fine, bud. Sorry. This is Pepe Sag. My mental is a bit weak. Same girl, cry face. Sorry for bringing you into this. I want you to get the money. The whole situation is kind of sucky. I just want to get along. I understand where this is if things don't work out. About this, and mostly, if you hate me for not burning blank down from my list. I would never hate you. Thank you and same. I'm just an insecure bitch. I love everything we've done together and want to keep doing more. People are dumb online, say shit that makes me stressed. Justifying their behavior by stating that simply looking out for me, which none of this had anything to do with me to begin with. Agreed, because it's all just yes, exactly, just guilt trip and get your bags. We're going on a trip, because that's all this is. Jesus, and manipulating me into grateful earning for. Well, thanks to them, despite the loss of work and returning clients and new clients. Concerning my work and models as a team. We are page 9 of 17 right now. Another example of going after other clients of mine before claiming that having more clients alongside them makes my work less special, with the reassurance of it's just business, manipulating me into believing that working with her is special for multiple reasons, and I risk losing that special something as a client if I prefer to work with others. No acknowledgement of my reasoning and need of working with other clients due to the nature of my work. Solely focus their issues. I would also like to note again that the screenshot is one of the many occasions that Red speaks on Cinder's behalf. Sorry, lower back is itching. I was originally concerned with everything going on through Red, that it may not have been 100% Cinder's feelings or wants. I messaged her about it to make sure that he spoke on her behalf and confirmed with both of them that this was the case. Hey Cinder, I hope you're doing okay. I talked with Red and believe that he talked to you already, and it would be best if we just checked here personally. Actually, I wanted to know your thoughts because Red tried to talk to me and I misunderstood things. Doing good. What's up, Nano? Mostly about this. I do not discredit any of your work. Okay, this is about them saying their work's being less special. I thought on canceling some models because of it, but then I realized that it's not really fair of me. I understand what he means, but at the end of the day, it's just business. Of course, we love working with you and want to keep working together, but we prefer to work with other clients instead of me. But if you prefer to work with other clients instead of me, I know the reason for you to help grow and not because you don't like me. Being one of your very first model bibbies was so amazing. I'm happy to be able to find someone to help you with live 2D cutting to improve your skill, and I think that's a big part of why everyone loved the 1.0 model, then started asking you for them. I can have Red send you a list of our plans in the future and estimated due dates, so just let us know if you actually want to work on. What you want to work on. The way I have time to look for someone else if you don't have time for my projects or don't want to do them. Cat cry. It feels special to have your model art for all my outfits, but just let me know if you don't have time for me to be exclusive nano art baby anymore. It's no personal reason. I would never do something like this to you or anyone, but yeah, it's important for my job to reach far, and I like working on different projects and people. I never ever said I don't want to work with you anymore. I told Red that even though I have my other works, will always have a way to get you a priority spot when possible. You'll always be my special baby. Oh my god, all this guilt tripping from Cinder is a lot. We are taking a very big trip, people. I also think it's important for you to work on projects so you're excited about. I'll go through my plans with Red and send you our ideas to see if it's possible to schedule. I know he can be a little pushy sometimes, but it's because he's doing business for me to grow. And he absolutely loves your work, and it's just as much as I do. Okay, I'll update you guys sooner, ASAP. Okay, sounds good to me. Red tries to make it look like they never meant for it to appear like they wanted me to be exclusive by framing it as something I wanted, while immediately doubling down on the fact that me working with more people makes my work less special and no longer unique. As if every design is just a Cinder clone, which is fucking wild. So, it's about working with Cinder. My friend told me it's a bit unfair for me to stop other models, so I do more for Cinder, which I agree with them. I'm a free artist, and I should do whatever I want to do. I do not want to take sides on drama or situations. I still will always have a way to open slots for Cinder, but I won't be having her as my only customer. I agree, you're a free client and you should always do what you want. But I was under the impression that taking on more Cinder work is what you wanted to do. I didn't think it was like we were making you do that. No, you're the one that brought it up, clearly redacted. You are the one that brought it up. We can go all the way back and show that they didn't say anything about it. You're the one that was like, hey, by the way, why don't you be exclusive and screw over the other people? Guess what we got? Guess we got misunderstood on both sides. Keke laugh. It's more about this. Let's talk about discrediting the work. Oh, I see. What I meant to say is, what I said is still true about how I feel, but I wasn't saying you only had to do Cinder work from now on. That's with anything, though, not just your work. If you have something special, then everyone wants the thing. It makes it less special. I'm sorry you were under the impression we were trying to make you only do work for us. I will keep more business talk, less emotional, lol. It's just let me know how this will affect your schedule so I can tell Cinder sorry for the stress, Nano. But every single iModel you do is unique and special in their own way. It's not like I'm selling Cinder to everyone. Please don't feel this way. No, I know. You pour your heart and soul into the models and they're all incredible. I'm sorry to make you feel this way. Fucking Redacted sitting there saying, nah, you're just making Cinder clones left and right. What do you mean? This guilt trip is getting insane. This is beyond insane on how far we're going with this trip. It's simply business. Normalizing their behavior once again by stating that it's simply business to sabotage other VTubers' careers and not work with them and focus on Cinder instead. Okay, it's okay, Nano. You're just making a living and making a name for yourself. I can't blame you for hold on. Okay, it's all still the same stuff. Okay. For accepting work from other big names in the industry and having very desirable talent. If you end up filling your model schedule again, like it was, let me know. I have to replan some things depending on that. Thank you for understanding my side. We'll always try to have our name somewhere. Just don't take it personal or anything. I still love working with you guys, and I apologize for the trouble of your plans. I still revisit my list and see what I got. Business is business. If you want to go through with the project we talk about, just let me know which ones you wanted to do. Later on. Is this about Blank's model, Nano? Yeah, and I want to take it, but I don't want to disrespect Cinder. I just want to do pretty models. No hurt feelings. Business is business. They keep bringing that up. Nano, you're a you're a freelance artist, and Blank is a longtime client, so it makes sense to continue doing work for her, and I understand the logistics of it. At the end of the day, you need to do what's best for you. I really appreciate for understanding my side. I guess that's cry? Yeah, that's a little hamster crying. It's kind of cute, though. I like that. I do understand your side, too, but sadly, this is between you two and not me. I should not be involved in this fight. I just go Art Burr. Totally get. Right, and I know. I just don't think our other conversation sounded like I was trying to make you not work with her. I'm gonna go pack a suitcase. This is just a book bag trip. This is a whole trip to the Bahamas. That's how far they're taking this. Jesus. And I just want to make you not work on her model, specifically Blank. Maybe I just considered the situation too much. My mistake for thinking this way. It's okay, but we're good for real. This makes me feel like we're breaking up. I'm stressing. Me and you were good. I still have to tell all this to Cinder. It's fine. Don't worry, heart. I think she's still sleeping. Damage control. Making sure none of this reaches other VTubers and kept it hush-hush, all still providing proof that they know what they're doing is ill-intended and should not get out. And it would cause such issues for Cinder's career to be painted in this light. Note that the uncalled shots were at VTuber 1 even spoiled a hidden message in Discord, so it wouldn't be accidentally leaked. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. I think it's fair to both sides this way. You didn't tell Blank you canceled because Cinder, did you? No, I would never. I told them that it was health issues. I would never blame anyone besides Blank. Kick W, I don't know who this is. Lol. We never want to make you feel like we're making you or forcing you to work or not work on something, especially if it's something that you want to / don't want to. And our conversation the other day wasn't meant to convince you for working only doing Cinder's work. Again, sorry that it sounded to you like I was telling you to only do Cinder's work. I'll message you later. Well, let's see if Blank wants a nano model or not, and hope Blank finds someone else. This constant obsession with VTuber 1 and claiming that she is asking because this unspoken competition is coming from absolutely no other source than Cinder herself. I think it's more like wanting her to recognize Cinder, even though it literally doesn't matter, and I feel like there's this unspoken competition between them, and like they need to one-up each other because Blank can't get along. But I also understand her point of view. A new VTuber who people say I can read, looks and sounds and acts like you becomes just as successful as you within a year. If she did recognize Cinder as an equal or a friend, then it would be like she's endorsing her copy, or like I've seen other people saying, some people say her replacement. They share a lot of the same audience too. Let's see here. Like at the end of the day, if it isn't about much what we may compare to her, we just want her to recognize, hey, Cinder's a big VTuber too. She's got a lot of her own merits, just like you did along. Like you get along. And the marketing potential and money they can make if they teamed up. I see why they really want this to happen. I just know that I just know anything we do, she is watching and will take from or try to outdo. Oh my god, you know the spinning figures we had on stream? Blank figure was announced on Wednesday, no spinning figure. Cinder debuted Saturday, everyone's heart hears about it, figures announced, spinning figure on screen with exclamation figure right next to it. Blank streamed yesterday, first stream since Cinder debut. Guess what? Spinning figure with exclamation finger next to it. Then a month later, they unfollowed her on Twitter and started taking her ideas, Cinder's ideas, like the flames. Now she's basically rebranded and more into a fire Cerberus, using fire emojis all the time. Never did that before. It's funny because she used to call herself a hellhound, but stopped when Cinder grew past her, and now uses Cerberus or Cerpups or whatever her lore says is. I don't know. The unfollow is weird. I appreciate Nano just letting them rant and not putting much here. Just let them go. This is back in 5.10, by the way, earlier in the year. This is all older stuff that's coming up. I see. Oh, we're at the end of the document here. Jesus, we've been flying. Yeah, so it's like there are also unprovoked tweets from her, like, I didn't copy anyone else's design, my design's all me, and this is who I am. Like, huh? Who are you saying that to? Oh, LOL, on a random Cinder clip on YouTube. There was one dedicated blank fan and someone she knew, I don't know. It was a comment on these clips saying that when you go into clips blank, only on Cinder clips. I like to highlight the irony of expecting to be entitled to be recognized for her own efforts and size when her own active efforts are tied to sabotaging this very same VTuber. Also feeling entitled and insisting to be recognized by someone else is odd. Thank you for taking this time to read. Hope everything makes sense. Blah, 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 blah. Jesus Christ on a cracker. That was a lot. On Nano's part, well, yes, they were a little gullible. They could have said no, obviously, but they did. They backed up, and they were like, hey, I don't want to do this. I need to stay open. And your solution, they didn't say this, but their solution was to stop my overworking and to prevent this from other content creators is to overwork me with your own exclusive stuff. As well as they kept dragging Nano into drama, dropping all the drama on Nano. Jesus. And then the guilt trips left and right. Alright, so then Cinder made an official statement. This was it. This is all she said, by the way. That's all she said. This wasn't here before. Effective immediately, Redacted will no longer be managing or others overseeing my VTuber activities. He no longer represents me as a content creator, my brand, or my intentions. I'm sorry, everyone. I will make a larger response later when able. His community note is very important. I don't think I have this one pulled up, but I think it's mentioned in the other ones. Cinder revealed themselves, as well as Vamp Peach's VT, that Redacted is their partner. Moreover, per Bal's, Nanolist, and Silvervale's account, which we'll get to, Redacted acted on Cinder's knowledge, consent, and both were directly engaged and liable towards other content creators. Oh boy. Oh look! There's here's the Vamp Peach's tweet. Here we go. We'll just pull this up. I remember playing Phasmophobia with you and hearing Red chat away next to you before you first debuted like 4 years ago. You told me he was your boyfriend. Then before we met at TwitchCon, you switched up and said, just so you know, my manager is coming with me on this trip, as if I didn't know who he was. It's even ickier to read this tweet knowing he is your significant other, and that you probably are going to try and avoid taking responsibility for hurting people who you trusted as friends by nuking the red side of this duo. So, everyone feels that they are going to push it all onto her boyfriend. That they're going to push it out, say, hey, this wasn't my idea, this was all Red's idea. Red did all of this, etc., etc., etc. But now we are going into Bao's side, who is specifically targeted by Red and Cinder. Sorry for that noise. So let's take a deep dive on what Bao has to say. And this is this is not as long as this is a 7-page document. Got it? Okay. Okay, so this is just referring to what Nana did. Well, we already wrote all of this. We'll skip through all that. Hello, this is Bao. I will only speak on to what Nanolist has decided to share with the public and messages that directly mention my name. I would like to kindly ask everyone to refrain from turning this into a witch hunt and remember that we are still human beings at the end of the day. Like I said before, don't go after people, don't go after the community. This is something that a lot of them have to work through, and Cinder kind of already took a Warthog AC 130 to the face with her career. Before I start, I want to point out why I'm addressing both Cinder and Redacted, despite the messages being largely from Redacted. Many times throughout the messages, the words we, were, our occur numerous times. As someone who was close and worked with Cinder for years, I have first-hand experience on how Cinder and Red collaborate, and the extent to which Red operates as her primary point of contact in her professional and personal projects. It is an experience that leads me to believe that all requests and messages sent by Red were both known and approved by Cinder. Before we deep dive into this document, for what Bao is saying, and if it's true,
almost at even 60.
Thank you for the reset. If what Bao is saying is true, every little bit that Red has been saying means that Cinder was behind it, saying, hey, go ahead and say this stuff. Go ahead and do all this. I approve of it. Just go ahead and do it. We know our goals. We know we know what we want to do overall. We want to sabotage other people. We want to do all this. So, let's take a look. In March 2024, I announced that one of my subathon goals was a live 2D model. Nanolist was going to be the live 2D illustrator. After she finished both the design and base model sketch, there was suddenly a back and forth on whether or not she had the physical and mental capacity to continue on my model. I was very sad as I had not only teased the screenshot of the model sketch on Twitter, but I had grown very attached to the design and shown it to all my friends. In a private group chat that Cinder was a part of, I shared how devastated I was, and she did not comment or say anything despite the others in the group chat comforting me and reassuring me. I now realize that the reason for her silence was because Cinder and Redacted were deliberately sabotaging ongoing commissions and blocking VTubers such as myself from having access from Nano. Referred to the screenshots that Nano did where they're basically saying Bao hijacked these people, they're pushing a lot of work on her, and a bunch of other stuff. Congratulations on no class today. Basically, a very big libel slander towards Bao, all here in proof. Nanolist asked Redacted on why he is encouraging her not to finish my model. Redacted then lists my name amongst various VTubers as well as vendettas Cinder and Redacted harbor against each. Bao has been getting on our nerves for a while. She hijacked our YouTube editor, constantly picking up artists that we work with. Now she's barking up the tree of one of our live 2D animators. Has a way of guilt-tripping others to get her way. Meanwhile, they were doing that the whole time during that conversation for months, possible years. This is what Redacted lists as reasons why Nanolist should cancel her ongoing live 2D commissions with me, all the while continuing to collaborate with me and pretending to be my friend. This is not what friends do. Friends do not sabotage other friends out of business opportunities. Friends do not spread lies to fuel selfish narratives. Friends do not use the private information they get from the privilege of being close friends just to manipulate others. If stepping on your friends and abusing the power of connections is how you get to the top, then I hope you realize you'll be left I hope you realize no one will No one will be left where when you get there. You'll be alone. Ay, ay, ay. They're gonna stab you in the back now? Hey, yeah, everyone's gonna stab you in the back now. That's good to know. Hey, nice. Hey, not nice. Alright. Yeah, so, as you see here, it's just more screenshots we saw from the first document, proving that, you know, all this was slander. They were trying to destroy Bao's career, pull strings from behind, and to find out that Cinder was actually giving Red personal info from conversations and group chats that they were a part of to use against Bao. More screenshots of them urging Nanolis to continue or to cancel ongoing live 2D commissions with me, even mentioning how excited I was about when I showed them the design during Cinder and I's concert at WeebCon 2024. Wild. I wouldn't offer it for free, maybe half price if she starts shit. LOL. Oh, wait, hold on. This is a new one here. I don't remember this one. Don't sell yourself short. I think she'd be fine taking the design or finding someone else. I wouldn't offer it for free, maybe half price if she starts shit. LOL. I must have skipped over that. I don't remember that part. You're alright. I'll talk to her today, and I'll also close the model inquiry and the mistake. I don't know what I've ever done to either Redacted or Cinder to deserve this level of vitriol, I guess, anger towards me. I do not remember having any issues with or any problems that could not have been solved by talking. Regarding the message where Cinder Redacted openly accused me of stealing their YouTube editor, Boss Rush, the video animator, as well as some artists they have worked with. Here we go. Hi, Kaiser. I'm going to try and read this. It's a little small. Hi, Kaiser. Nice to meet you. I was watching your stream highlight of me and Cinder's collab, and I would really love your editing and humor. I'm curious if I could request a video edit from you every now and then, whenever you have the availability. My username is Bao on Discord if you want to chit chat. Thanks again. Management. Hi, Bao. I'd love to edit for you. I'll just send you a friend request. She hijacked our YouTube editor. This YouTube editor is Kaiser, a mutual YouTube channel editor for myself and Cinder. My channel manager, June, and I asked Kaiser for one stream highlight per month as we were aware of his extensive position as Cinder's channel manager. I made a point to note that this inquiry email was sent to him in 2023. Okay. We did a call for 5 hours. On March 20th, I started a group Discord call that lasted 5 hours to hang out with my editors. In this group, Kaiser shared with us that he was afraid to ask Cinder for a raise because he initially turned down an exclusivity deal. As a friend of both Cinder and Kaiser, I encouraged him to take the deal and reassured him that it would not change our friendship, and I would never want someone I care about to miss an opportunity. Even if I met I would lose him as an editor. Other editors who were in the call can collaborate this. I'm sharing context because there is no other words to describe the hurt and betrayal I feel now, knowing that on the other side of this conversation, Cinder and Redacted were actively portraying me as a thief and determinant to their business. I have only ever supported them and their activities and never once thought that I had somehow gotten on their nerves. Bao had original songs last year and the envies by our editors, and their song flopped. We've read that. We talked about it. I'm shocked and disbelief that this narrative they decided that I deserved. Saying that I harbored an invisible jealousy because my songs flopped, air quote, made me feel sick to my stomach. In late 2024, I was dealing with debilitating TMJ pains that resulted in me having drained fluid from my jaw to the point to open. All this reading is making me go insane, apparently. Drain my jaw from my jaw joint to open my mouth properly. There we go. They both knew this. I've always wanted my friends to succeed alongside me, and I don't know if they could have say these things while simultaneously weaponizing my most vulnerable moments against me. I'm 99% sure she told Sacramore, do not do any more business with us. Boss Rush music videos. You having fun reading all this? Yeah, I'm having a fucking stroke. That's what I'm doing. Ah, this is new stuff. I don't remember any of this. Hold on. Stumbling hard. Yeah, man. Woo! Woo! Alright. There's some context missing. So to know how to know his bounds behind scenes and MB from did we do this? Yeah, literal announcement tweet. Okay, here's the next part. We didn't see this part. Might need some hydration? Yeah, I might need some hydration. Oh shit, yeah, that's super weird. The announcement thing. Anonymously in-house, as in, I will never be credited publicly, so no one knows who does this work for Bao. That's literally insane for them to put that there. Oh, it's literally it. LOL. This literally reads like a hostage note. I asked to be anonymous since I like to be separate from the project and being known as a freelancer. No one does this. No one decides to do this on their own. This is 2 weeks after Boss Rush came out. Yeah, it's pretty weird, LOL. In these messages, Cinder and Redactor referring to my animator, the Sacramore, who I've been working with since 2023. Hi, I'm going to bed, but give me your rates and turn around for the video like the Bao Experience one. Me and my editors love it. Yo, all good. Alright, I'm going to take a break here, because we're all... Actually, let me finish up. We're at the... I think we're literally at the end, so let me finish up, get a drink, and we'll go from there. So in 2024, Sacramore asked me if he could go completely exclusive for me and work for me in-house with no credit in order for him to be able to work quietly on his personal projects and brand without having VTubers ask him for more commission work. I was happy to accept. I wanted to reiterate that this was Sack's decision and no one else's. Here is proof of Sack mentioning his wishes to be my in-house animator directly to my channel manager June Beppis back in December 2024, refuting Dak's claims that I locked him up due to Boss Rush success. Yo, is it fine as a going forward as I don't get it credited in the video descriptions? Okay, thank you. I'd rather just be more of an in-house type thing for Bao after this blank thing is done. The last commission I ever do for anyone besides Bao, and I want to make a name for myself through my own content and not really working under others for the next year. Why aren't you solving this privately? I agree. If you look at the timelines of the events in Nano's document, some of the other messages date back years. I have found out about this in less than 48 hours, and they did not give me a common courtesy of me talking privately about this over the years. My thoughts, feelings, my most vulnerable, darkest moments that I shared in confidence with people I thought that might be on my side years and years from now may have been used as information to ruin chances to have the same VTuber model as someone I thought was my friend, and I do not know how I could ever be the same after all this. I would like to ask the community from doing harmful blah 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 blah. Don't go after. Don't witch hunt. Just waking up, hearing words fumble made me blink rapidly, and I thought it was me not being able to say English. Nah, Kate, you just don't know what I'm saying. So, you have a VTuber who got big, who wanted to ruin her friends, who were supposed to be standing by her. So therefore, she used her boyfriend/manager to lead the crusade against all of her friends. So far, it's been seeming that she's used all this personal information against her friends. So, everyone's being affected. And like I said before at the very beginning of this, there are a lot of people in the VTuber community that will do this in a heartbeat. Just be forewarned. This is not a one-off thing. This has happened before, it will happen again. The only reason why this is seeing the light of day is because of how big Cinder is/was. Now, let's go on to another person who was involved. Cottontail. This is something she said. This made my stomach drop to read. It makes me very sad to have things come out like this. Sending much love to Nano and Bao. I'm talking about specifically referencing Cottontail and all this. And I agree with Hades on this, by the way. Viewing friends as competition is beyond fucking sad. Yeah, I'm planning on to do this to you as soon as we have a VTuber drama growth. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is the plan. I become friends, and then stab everyone in the back. Who'd have thought? Hi, Scoof, by the way. Hope you're doing well, hon. Alright, here's another person with a Google Doc. Rain. This one, if I remember correctly, this is NTR. People refer to this as NTR, cheating, and some other stuff. So this is going to possibly be very sexual in nature. Viewer discretion is advised for this part. This is a 4-page document. All right, this ain't that long. Let me sip up here. Hello, and thank you for taking this time to read this document. In the events described, it happened 4 to 5 years ago, before Cinder's first debut. Let's see here. I understand there will be doubtless accusations of me clout chasing by revealing them. However, I want to collaborate in Annalise's assertions that she is not who she appears to be on the surface, and confirm that no matter how much damage control she does, she is just as responsible as Redacted. The beginning. Cinder and I met while she was still running her Tashi.mp3 YouTube channel, which is all the following screenshots will show as her as Tashi rather than Cinder, and will come up later. At the time, she was only starting her account, and I already had my own ASMR roleplay channel with a...
You don't want to know.
Thank you, Bucky, for the sub. I appreciate it.
But you did, and now I'm telling you, you don't want to know.
Exactly, you don't want to know, but you're gonna find out. All right, 8K subs and a bigger channel than me. Bigger channel than her. She couldn't wait to work with someone as talented, air quote, as me. You will get there. It's still hard for me to believe that someone is so talented likes my voice enough to want to work together. Cry face. We never ended up actually making any content together, but that didn't stop us from talking pretty much every day at the time. Eventually, she found a new way to make me useful. Oh dear. Pretty much immediately, she was flirting with me despite, as you can see here, having a boyfriend and knowing us and both of us knowing she has a boyfriend, including regularly talking shit about him to me while telling me how great he is and how great it would be if I were to replace him. I understand that I'm no angel in this myself, but hey, at least I can be honest about it. Besides, you said it was hard when your boyfriend is far, far away. I'm not your boyfriend, am I? No, but how nice that would be. You're perfect boyfriend material. Oh, dear God. Okay. Oh, so you want to go at it behind his back. How sneaky. Hi, honey. I've been talking to this guy about how badly I want to fuck him. How badly I want him to fuck me, since you wanted to buy a fleshlight instead of giving me any attention when I'm needy. What? You got... Okay. Fucking oof, dude. Literally, why would you even need a fleshlight when you have a girlfriend? He sent me a screenshot a couple weeks ago telling me he was getting one and had the nerve to use it in front of me to show me how great it was. Wow, you must be great. Like I said, this is about to get really fucking weird, it seems. Yo, what the fuck? This is like me inviting you to Chatterbait room so I can watch you fuck someone else in all the ways I said I wanted to fuck you. Isn't that great? I am very slowly not feeling as bad for him about all this. Cause it did honestly leave a bit of a bad taste in my mouth that all this is happening while you were taken, but then, yeah, that's just a bit. So this guy's consenting to cheating, by the way. He's like, yeah, I know you got a boyfriend, but I'm down to cheat. Rain, you're not innocent in this. And this does really come off as clout chasing. Really big yikes. And I'm watching on my living room TV. Yikes, sorry, Bucky. You're gonna have to suck it up, buddy. I'm sorry. Yikes, collar pull. Did you tell him that that was fucked and hurtful to you? He asked me if I was okay with it, and after I explained about how I felt, he told me it was too late to do anything about it because it shipped, and he kept it. Sorry, I have to lean in because this is small here. I mean, Far be it from me to give you advice. It's your relationship, and the only ones who can decide what is and isn't okay is you two, but that sounds really sketchy to me. Also, why did he ask if you were okay with it after he bought it? Well, I'm gonna say on this, two wrongs don't make a right. As much as I enjoy sexting, it's really not right if you want to be with him. I would rather either try to reconcile with him and get what you need out of the relationship and step back from me for a bit, or maybe consider taking a break. I know the last part sounds fucked coming from me, but I swear on my life, I'm not being scummy about it. It's really my opinion. I've just been really stressed about everything, and talking to you makes me feel so much better. I don't want to lose what we have. I'm such an awful person. I don't deserve it anyway. Oh, here comes the guilt tripping. You know, I did not expect to hear my yogurt bowl. Hey, sex talk, you know, hands up, absolute cinema, all that stuff. I don't believe you're an awful person. I believe that you're stressed and you're emotional, and you're looking for something that make you feel better, which happened to be me when I wasn't helping. Listen, taking a break from what we have is just a little bit, and see if you can do something. Something out of him first. Oh, see if you can get something out of him first. If you can't really have both of us, you can't really have both of us. Plus, if it wouldn't be really fulfilling to me if I was just the other guy in the scenario, and wouldn't be, and not to get a full relationship experience to me. You can do it, sweetie. I believe in you truly. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'd do without you. There you go. She's trying to keep him in. Me, whatever. I'm joining Joe's streams. Hey, I'll always keep you all on your toes, you know. I am not saying to stop talking completely, but it's still to get you right here to support you, whichever decision you're making. I love you so much. I don't know how to thank you. Despite what evidently was nothing serious for her and just a means of keeping herself occupied, she felt the need to keep stringing me along with proclamations of real love, which again, I was silly to believe in the first place. But still, regardless, I'm always going to love you. Those words have a lot of weight, especially if you do a lot of NSFW stuff in nature, and it wasn't the intent of just friends with benefits or something along those lines. He probably really felt that way for her. For obvious reasons, I won't share any of the explicit sexting, not just because of the NSFW nature, but I also don't think it helps. However, the note, this went on for several months and included more than just text, as both the date and contents of the following screenshot proves. I mean, it looks like something was going on down there either way. It's called fingering, dear. One reason I felt important to share these details in particular is because I never found out Fred got told about what happened, especially not in full lucidity. The primary reason I held on to all this for so long was an itching feeling that Red never fully knew, and it was always felt like it would be unnecessary drama, so I left it all alone. Now it seems as good as a time as any. Yeah, because everyone's dogpiling. That's why you're bringing this up now, but beside the point. Red, if you're rating this, I'm sorry for what happened back then, I really am. But given the actions you two have taken together regarding other VTubers, I still think you're perfect for each other regardless. Yikes. Right in there. The end. After Cinder got done using me for fleeting sexual gratification, our conversation slowed down, exacerbated by the Cinder character coming into fruition and finding immediate success. I'd stopped making content for the decent length of time by then, and thus she no longer felt she could climb ladder from me. Hey, what was... Okay, he's still going. Hey, what was your exam for? I haven't been on this Discord account super often. I missed it a bit. She made a new group chat without me. I kid, but yeah, they were entrance exams for uni college. Were you young, or were you an older adult? This brings up some other problems that I don't know if they get addressed, but we'll keep that to the end. Next, congrats on passing. I've just been on the VTuber side of things, working commissions and whatnot. What, and Cinder doesn't want to be my friend, only Tashi does? It's just easier not to have multiple ongoing conversations. Bullshit. But eventually stop using that account altogether and fully committed to Cinder. And I never heard from her again. Something I was uncannily aware of would happen even back then. I'll message you this time in 2022 and you won't remember who I am. I never forget you. And that's pretty much it. It wasn't meant to be a witch hunt. This wasn't meant to be a witch hunt. We all make mistakes, including as I've shown in the same document, but it feels like a good time as any to get this off my chest. And I've been had for over half a decade. But now it's finally got some closure, even though I know how bad I look alongside her. Yes, because you cheated. Willingly, by the way. The opportunist, whatever she can have, find a way to be, and she does not care what happens to people she springboard off of. I can only hope she takes this opportunity to change and grow as a person. And I am just going to throw this one at the end because it's funny in retrospect. Don't forget about me when you become a big popular YouTuber. The cope in this is real. This is a lot of, yikes. Okay, so my opinion on Rain. This was the time to do this because, yeah, she threw him under the bus, cheated on him. You willingly cheated on him, by the way, or helped her cheat on him, by the way, knowing he was there. So, does that make you better? No. What, are you going after Cloud at this point? Possibly. I don't know. But, like, yeah, what the fuck do you mean it got worse? And then people are saying it was edited, blah, 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 blah. That's a big fucking yikes from Rain. This is just getting worse and worse as we go on, people. This is just getting worse and worse. Thank you, Troll, by the way. I really need to get Siri bot in here. Alright. Spite! Now, I believe Spite is the VTuber that supposedly was copying, was supposedly copying Cinder, and they were actively trying to stop because she was stealing stuff from Cinder. Air quote over all of that. I want to start by saying, please do not send any hate to anyone involved in this. I only wish to speak about my experience and give more clarity on those experiences. First and foremost, my love admiration goes out to Nanolis for having the courage to be able to bring this to light. Artists are the backbone of our community, and taking advantage of her goodwill personality is saddening to see. I want to take this time to address what I've been through in the light involving myself and what I've seen others experience over the years that coincide with these events. In the screenshot, the VTuber that is being talked about is very clearly me. Yes, talking about taking Cinder's ideas, etc., etc., etc. Since the beginning of my VTuber journey, it has been written in my backstory and lore that I am the daughter of Cerberus, and though an unforeseen summoning mishap, the Greek goddess Hecate, whatever you pronounce that. As many know, Cerberus is a species of hellhound, and I have always incorporated the number 3 into my design, following the 3 heads of Cerberus in my early designs, and when artists were still learning new model rigging techniques, I had opted for the other 2 wolf heads to be on my shoulders as pardons of symbolic. I can't read, guys. I can't read. Symbolically represent my other 2 heads. However, the repeated comments of "if your Cerberus were your other 2 heads" have pushed me to use the border term hellhound at the time. Fast forward to months to a year into my journey, I started to receive harassment and berating comment and chat messages on Twitch and YouTube videos comparing me to Cinder and putting me down for being a hellhound. Making the definitive switch to the Cerberus label brought me a sense of relief, because the last thing I wanted was to be constantly compared to or harassed. At this point, I didn't want to associate with her due to all negativity being thrown my way. Talking about the claims of stealing, blah, 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 blah. As for the claims of unfollowing her and taking her ideas, I debuted my live 2D model May 14th, 2022. On the same day, she decided to post her debut Mazda for a 1.0 live 2D model. Leading up to this time, I did not know who Cinder was at all. I had no idea she had fire in her ears, or she was another hellhound. The creator space is broad, and I still stumble across creators larger than myself that I have not heard of before. I never once stole her ideas. All I have ever wanted to try was be unique in my own way. So these claims that I was following her and unfollowing her and stealing her ideas stealing her ideas are absolutely baseless and uncalled for. Yes, and that's a good point chat brought up. Because these people created ancient lore beyond their age. Yeah, beyond their age. Yep. They're the original creators, etc., etc. Exactly. People taking claims saying that their lore is unique when they're stealing off actual history and myths that have been around for decades, generations, eons, or whatever you want to call it, for years, hundreds of thousands of years. And here we go. Bam, look at that. A week later, almost 2 weeks later, look at that. Debut May 3rd, May 14th. She came first. Okay. Her posting her debut announcement trailer the same day as my 2.0 seemed off, but I shrugged it off as coincidence because things happen. However, this wasn't the last time something like this happened. There have been multiple times where I have done something in either the same day or shortly after I was made aware that I had discovered later that something similar had been posted, making me feel like I was being watched constantly. I tried my best to believe that it was all coincidental and not ill intent for their part. Let's see here. Yes, and in this VTuber space, something like this is going to happen. A lot of things are going to happen. There's going to be a lot of similarities. It's going to happen a lot. Oh my god, the comparison down there. Hold on, I'm trying to get this water open. There were many times I designed a new outfit that I was really excited for, but afterwards Cinder would release outfits or models with similarities to it. I didn't think much of it at first because it was normal to have some similarities or shared inspiration with other creators. The VTubing community is a huge space and similarities are normal. I'm not speaking to whether my designs were taken as a direct reference from her. I'm addressing the need for the unprovoked tweets mentioned in the screenshots above and showing that I made statements to make it clear that I am not stealing our ideas. How can I copy something that was released, teased, revealed after my own? On July 20th, 2022, Mally Live, my model mama, and I worked on a comfy goth girl outfit. I have rips in my t-shirts, a G-string, oh my, shorts, and spiked wrist cuffs. 2 weeks later, Cinder debuted a similar outfit. I included the earliest images I could find of Cinder with this outfit, and I received many negative comments about my design from people assuring me that I copied it when it debuted 2 weeks before her. I got called off-brand Cinder and a bunch of other horrible things. I discovered merchandise that she used for Uwu Market and had to do a double take. Because of the gray blue skin tone used in the art, several people thought it was me, and the similarities for speaking for themselves, I feel. That's a yikes. On April 29th, 2024, I designed a Greek goddess outfit on stream. I am a Cerberus VTuber, so it fits in my lore completely that I mentioned that I may or may not get a future Greek goddess outfit, because it benefits my branding. About 4 months ago, Cinder debuted the Heaven Okami-inspired outfit that was white and gold, representing the Greek goddess in the background debut. She also included Greek columns. At this point, I felt like nothing I could come up with would even slightly original to me. I am aware that nothing is completely original, but I still wanted my own identity. where she shows how she was coming up with the design and stuff of that nature. May 2024. And 4 months ago, I guess in January, December. On April 20th, 2024, I debuted a new model for my model mama, a Rari VT. I got a hoodie with a cute design on top and side bangs covering my eyes. That is adorable. I like that. On May 4th, 2025, Cinder debuted a sports hoodie with the side bang covering her eyes. That's oof. That's a yikes. There are some instances I do not have screenshots of. For example, I remember how posting my first ASMR stream, that day I was supposed to do said stream, Cinder plugged her ASMR stream. I thought it might be a bit suspect, but I brushed it off. I do not have screenshots of the comments and bullying that I received from her community. There were too many that it became too much to keep track of and just started ignoring them because I never wanted to save images of the words that hurt me. I didn't even want to read the harassing comments in the first place. I just wanted to be left alone and be happy in my own space. I received a DM on January 25th, 2023. I will not disclose who the sender was without their consent. The sender expressed to me that they were getting bullied by Cinder and certain members of Cinder's community because she had fire ears too. I never responded to the DMs because I wanted to stay away from this drama as much as possible. Hey, popped in the feed. I wanted to say I love your design. I have rather a question, I suppose. Have you ever had any messages from the VTuber Cinder regarding your design? This may seem out of nowhere only because I'm asking because I had an OC a while back and I was accused by her and others for stealing her designs because my dog girl had flames in her ears. And her fans claimed that it was exclusive design. It was a whole big ordeal on Twitter, so I wonder if anything similar has happened to you. I would like to clarify, I myself, and not saying your design looks like her, I was scrolling and I totally see your awesome design. When I saw the flames near or in your ears, I had flashbacks and I thought, oh no. So I guess my curiosity was getting the best of me. So even I still stand by, don't attack any of the hellhounds that are standing by our side throughout all this bullshit. But it seems that Cinder was sending people after other VTubers that had similar designs and similar uptakes as Cinder because she had an exclusive design that was original to her. That's what I'm getting at all this. I'm just very sad and disappointed in the situation. I had my suspicions about this, but I never wanted to be part of drama, so I kept quiet. I also seen what happens when creators stand up for themselves and receive major backlash, even if they are in the right, so I never vocalized my concerns. I also designed my own models and got inspiration from Cerberus with the chains and spikes, Disney's Hades, and because I called myself a goth GF, I was inspired by Sam and Ember from Danny Phantom, plus others of our goth crushes that we have grown up with. I just focus on myself and my friends. Meanwhile, I've had eyes on me the whole time, knowing that I've been being watched talk poorly about really hurts, especially when I never attempted to interact with me. Or they never attempted to interact with me. I did my best to go through what I could and get appropriate screenshots. Crazy because I didn't know who Cinder was until she debuted her live 2D. I just wanted to exist peacefully as a VTuber and spend time drama-free. I woke up this morning in shock. It's terrifying and how hurtful that someone could attempt to blacklist me when I never even spoken to them. I hope going forward that no one else has to experience anything like this. Thank you guys for being supportive towards me. I love this community so much. Please go forward and give love to Nano and everyone affected by it. And blah, 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 blah. So all the support of everything for it. So Cinder sent people after Spite and tried to blacklist Spite because she was taking her ideas and she wanted all that to be her original ideas. So what I'm saying is that Cinder would basically just copy the Cerberus, Spite the Cerberus VTuber here, and steal the ideas saying they were hers, even though it would happen way after what Spite was doing. Shit's wild. This is not like spur of the moment stuff. This is calculated stuff. This is planned, spiteful stuff. She went out of her way, focused on someone. And what I agree. From this, I've learned that Cinder thinks she's original. No one else can be like her. It's all her. That is some self-conceited shit that I just heard. Saying that no one can have similar ideas. No one can be similar. It's all one idea. And if you do anything similar, you are ripping off me. And I'm sending my people after you. Which she has done. Alright. Next person. Silvervale. Let's see what happened here. I see Shiloh right there. So much malice and hatred from simply not wanting to be a business transaction. I'm sorry. Alright. This is a 12-page document. God, Jesus, man. Alright. Introduction. I should not have to say this, but me putting the statement out here is not a call for an excuse for anyone to turn this situation into a witch hunt. Which it's been one. Like, let's be real here. The moment everything happened, those same people that would go attack similar VTubers are attacking Cinder and probably doing a bunch of stuff behind scenes, setting death threats, doing a bunch of other things that we are not seeing. Those people 100% are doing that stuff right now. I am not doing that. I am taking a look at everything put in front of me as evidence towards Cinder and what Cinder has to say as an apology, and how other people are reacting to this situation. I do not condone a witch hunt tour. I truly hope Cinder does get help, doesn't hurt herself, doesn't do anything along those lines. And if someone were to come up and start threatening her, Red, or any of these parties involved, you seriously need to go put your ass in a fucking insane asylum and leave these fucking people alone. And get off the internet and don't be chronically online. Now, let's read what Silvervale has to say. My intentions for making a statement is strictly to give myself closure for the events of the past years and clarify how I have been personally affected. I debated if I wanted to even say anything after being asked if I wanted my name in the original document censored, as the situation is much bigger than just my personal experience. However, after finding out how wide and extensive the transgressions were, I feel the need to give clarity to my situation and how I was personally affected, which I kind of also agree with in that sense. I want to note that others that have been through a majority of this message are from Redacted. I find it possible that he acted solely on his own intentions without Cinder's knowledge or consent, given the extent of what he represented her publicly and professionally. I agree with this. This is going over, the exclusivity deal, everything we already talked about, went over with Nanolist, talk about how Bao screwed people up. Here's the part where it specifically talks about Silver, though. Let's look at this. We could do it when Silver asks for... Is this the part? Okay. What about we can pay X for you? You don't have to discount a payment. We'll continue to give you lots of model work, I think, for the year right now. But if you don't want to work with Bao, Blank, or Silver at all again, models or art, I don't think you ever done anything with Bao or Blank before. I also have GS label, Gamersubs label for you too, the AFK. I think I need to add a little bit more, since Silver still asks me for art every now and then. We could do it when Silver asks for art, you tell her no, and then tell us to buy another art piece, Omega lol. I think you would still get a job for it, okay? Is this about Silver's model, talking specifically about Silver? Specifically Redacted attacking Silver, trying to prevent Nana from doing anything of that nature. Talking about exclusivity deal, referring to Silver multiple times again, going over stuff we've already talked about. I am VTuber1 in this screenshot. In the screenshots provided by Nano in her document. I have been a friend and client of Nano for years, and seeing how she was manipulated and abused by Cinder and Ren makes me livid. She is an absolute sweetheart and just wants her clients to be happy. It breaks my heart to see how she was treated like a tool and a resource to use for growth rather than a talented living person, and gaslit into somehow believing that how she was treated was okay. It's beyond insane how they were trying to push this narrative and believe that this was okay. I am so proud of Nano of having the courage to come forward to the affected people with all this and let everyone know how they were going to be unknowingly sabotaged. I've spoken to her privately and want to be clear, I have no ill will or hard feeling towards Nano for her involvement in this. I urge people reading this to try and understand the emotional and manipulation on display and empathize with her situation. There is also a lot I could say about how disgusting I feel and find their behavior towards other creators in general, but I want to focus on my personal experience. Dude, this is still a whole iceberg. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 other people affected, her apology, like, official apology, and then 3 other tweets related to it. I'm still fucking going. This is gonna be like a 2-hour, 3-hour thing. I'm still yapping. Alright, Sinder and I. Discovering that this was all going on behind the scenes has been gut-wrenching. I did not know Sinder, we weren't friends, and we have barely talked. Even in writing this, I do not understand what I could have possibly done to warrant this level of malice and cruelty shown. In our private interactions, I was cordial as possible, but I wasn't interested in associating with her professionally or being her friend. That adds a whole new thing here. Silver just didn't want to do anything with her. She didn't do anything malice, according to her. We're about to take a look and see the interactions. But apparently, maybe Cinder sent people after her and did this stuff because she didn't want to do it and she was bad about it. That's what I'm getting off of this right now. Alright, so let's go. From a few uncomfortable interactions I did have with her, I've gotten the vibe that her primary goal was to climb the social and content ladder and grow her brand. I am fully aware of how common this attitude is, and that's just how you grow in this sphere. But I personally don't have the emotional fortitude or bandwidth to have friendships for the express purpose of growth. For the record, I think it's fine to have a viewpoint and approach to content creation, but I also reserve the right to simply not vibe with someone. And I agree, 100%. In this space, you have the right to be like, nah, I'm good, fam. And it's perfectly fine to do that. Just be like, nah, I'm okay. I don't want to vibe with you, you know? It's perfectly fine to do that in this space. And people who just use people to climb ladder are utterly fucking disgusting, in my opinion. But it happens all the time. It's happened to me on multiple occasions. God, there's so many people I could refer to right now, but I'm not. But it has happened to me. So, let's see where we had. Bandwidth of friends. For the record, I think it's fine to have a view approach to content creation, but I also reserve the right to not vibe with anyone. I would much rather not associate with someone at all than pretend to be their friends with the purpose of growing my brand. The only time I actually talked to her directly was during my meet and greet in TwitchCon 2023. I remember seeing this, by the way. I remember seeing this. I had just finished my meet and greet and it was wrapping up when she walked up directly to the screen to meet me, and someone else had taken a picture of it together. I was not informed of this picture and asked permission for it. Only knew about it once I saw it on Twitter later. Ooh, that's a yikes. Also, Cinder really loved meeting you and wanted to collab with you. I'm assuming this is Red, maybe, that message? I told her I would let you know, and would throw... Oh, no. Oh, this might be someone from her management, I'm assuming. Oh, yeah, my manager's a mythic. Also, Cinder really loved meeting you and wanted to collab with you, so I told her I'd let you know, and I could throw you guys in a group chat if you were interested. Although, I appreciate the sentiment, but I prefer not to do collabs. Okay, that's fine. Alright, taking a break because I really need to drink water. I never really liked Cinder or her content, to be honest. I've seen a few of her stuff and you kind of catch the intentions. Yeah. Time to bring back the consent stuff? I know, I agree. Consent is very key. Just want to throw that out there. Very key. And like I said before, I never really watched Cinder stuff outside of Community React. I never watched her Twitch stuff, her YouTube stuff, minus outside Community React. And I did follow her on Twitter. That's about it. That's the most I've seen of Cinder. So I literally have no stake in this race. It doesn't mean anything to me. So, alright. So the manager from Myth. No worries. Hope you're having a good weekend. Thank you. I'm trying to be busy. Lots of IRL stuff coming up. Sorry, I wasn't interested in doing. I just like doing my own thing. I'm not always open to messages, which is totally fair. I hope you have fun at the con, and I hope everything went well. After the meet and greet, she contacted my manager at Mythic to collab with me. I told her I would rather not collab, but accepted her friend request on Discord after turning her down. In private DMs, she reached out to me to do merch and other forms of collabs to be monetized, which I again declined. I always prioritize my mental health and peace over any potential profit that would make me feel used transactionally and put me out of my comfort zone. Hi, Silver. Sorry for getting back to you this late. It was super sick at TwitchCon. I guess a lot of us are sick after a couple parties. Hope you had a good time meet and greet. It was nice to meet you. There, no worries. If you don't prefer to stream together, my manager said something more like sponsorship, music, blah, 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 blah. We can always talk to Mythic, and it was no worries. I'm super hectic and busy for everyone. I'm really flattered by the persistence, but I'm not interested in transactional relationship with anyone. I hope you understand. Oh, now here we go. Here comes back Redacted. Because Silver turned Cinder down, Redacted's pissed off. Oh, no, this was before, right? Yeah, okay. So, like, at the end of the day, about how much we compared her and just wanted her to recognize, hey, Cinder's a big VTuber too. She's got her own merits and, like, her own things. And the marketing potential. So here comes the marketing where they just like, we just need to team up so we can make money. That's where that whole block of text from Redacted comes into play now. It's referring to him wanting to get with Silver for the marketing potential so they can make bank off of it. That's why. Not friendship, but money. Okay, it makes a lot of sense now. I had a new live 2D model in the works for my birthday with Nano, which was eventually canceled. I was devastated as Nano was the one who originally asked if she could do this model because she was excited to make it with all new things that she's learned, and my birthday was special. At the time, the reason given was health and stress reasons, which makes sense given on how much is on Nana's plate. And despite my disappointment, I expressed my support for her prioritizing her health. I am now aware of the actual reason for her declining the work. Declining to work with me on my birthday model was external pressure from Redacted and Cinder. Words cannot describe how heartbroken I am. Silver, I have to cancel my model comm. I'm sorry, manager. My manager told me that I have to cancel most of my comms to prioritize comms possible for healthy reasons. I've been working hard too and getting me. I'm really apologize for inconvenience. Cry face. I was looking forward to it so much. I love your art and so much, and I've been excited for the new model. And I understand though. You have to prioritize your health and take care of yourself. I hope your health improves and you feel better. Make sure to get lots of rest and relaxation. Do you know if you'll be able to do it next year at all? Don't feel pressured at all. Just asking. I'm sorry, Pepe cry. Sorry, it hurts me a lot. I wish I could work on everything I could, but I believe I could still get around to your model sometime next year. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because it's the end of the year. It's just, take a couple months off. It's okay. I have a ton of work. I know you have a ton of work on your plate. I can't imagine how stressful it is. Do you think you could still do the Gamer Subs tub art, though? Yeah, illustrations are okay. Whatever emote there. And there comes back the conversation with Nanolus and Redacted, where Redacted saying don't do anything for Silver or anyone else. Cancel it. Haha, funny. Don't do anything for Silver. This comes back to it. Pressuring Nano. Oh. I don't remember the Geary part. They're bringing in Onigiri. Ooh. Ooh, that adds a new layer to this drama. They're trying to push Onigiri into getting a model. Oh, interesting. I did not think much of it at the time, but Cinder messaged me on Discord right before my model was canceled. She celebrated that we shared art, despite the fact that at the same time, she and Redacted were actively working to take potential from me for more away. Yikes, man. Hey, Silver, just got your gamer sub stuff in the mail. It looked amazing, so cute. We both have Nana's art. Both are a merchant of model mama. Oh my god! She's pissed that she couldn't work with her, so she took away, she's trying to actively take away stuff. What kind of manipulative bullshit is this? Sinder and Redacted have spent years sabotaging me for no understandable reason. I have never done anything to warrant this other than just existing as Silvervale. They have actively sought to get my models and art cancelled, and based on the messages I have seen and shared above, seems to not have only any second thoughts of doing so. It is hard to express how crushing a feeling it is to talk about the cruelty and maliciously without my knowing, and to know the opportunities and friendships were taken away for what I can only assume is spite and insecurity. In French, let's see here, there is no end to the amount of anxiety I feel knowing that if these rumors were expressed to Nano, I have assumed they were expressed to others as well. I hope this document and evidence I presented will convince you that I am not the person that Sinder and Redacted try to convince other people. Thank you for taking this time to read. Sinder is a salty bitch. What the fuck? Big time VTubers aren't really on my radar, and then I randomly hear about drama arises. This is what happens when people actively use people just to climb the ladder. If you say no to them, they will do whatever they can to screw you over to make sure they get farther than you. This is what's happening right now. And like I said, this is not a one-off. This happens all the time in the VTuber community. Now, let's look at Sack, the person who went and became full exclusivity for Bao. Feel free to read if you want. Go show love to both Nana and Bao, though. Alright, his document is 8 pages long. Alright, let's go. Let's dive. Deeper, I say. Take the sub deeper. This is going to be very unorganized, but I'm going to try and keep this brief, and I really don't want to think that they, Red specifically, deserve any more attention than after what I'm hearing they've said about me and knowing how it works with them. Writing plus 100. Yeah, exactly. First off, to address this, going exclusivity, I asked Bao to go anonymous and in-house because I wanted to focus on my own projects for 2025, since I spent pretty much all 2023 and 2024 doing videos for others and was having a lot of people and companies reach out to me asking me for the work for them, and I am not good with saying no to work opportunities. Since in general, just being an editor is not a long-term sustaining thing in most scenarios. Hence why a large majority either turn into becoming managers or their own content creators with their own platforms. So I just wanted to be left alone this year to work on other things and just editing for other people, which is why I want to be separated from my commission work and do not like the idea of being labeled as an editor. Okay? Talk about how Bao's taking the MV person, blah, 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 blah. We've already talked about this. When I was reading all this, reading it earlier, I thought they had blank manager names, redacted. Yeah, that's what I thought so too. When this first came to light, redacted, I thought they literally redacted the name, and I was like, "Oh, that's an interesting way to do it." No, this guy literally is named Redacted. So, good point to make there, though. When me and Sinder are initially discussed working on a music project video project at TwitchCon, everything was fine and friendly. However, the part that is stated practically jumping through hoops is, well, a bit of an overstatement at the very least, since they asked me a significant amount of times to try to get me to work with them after I told them no multiple times, only said yes because they offered double pay. So they were very desperate enough to offer double pay to get him involved. Alright, nude screenshots! You wouldn't happen to be available for an MV in a week or two, would you? I'm completely full every day this month. The earliest I could do is November 9th. Just check in, thank you. MP, I'm still 100% down for one after the date, though. Sorry to bother you, but do you you all know the exact release date? Since I could try working with something out to fit it if y'all want it by the 22nd-ish. Yeah, alright. Just let me know in about 2 to 3 days. This month's super busy. Hey, Red. Thanks for waiting. Been trying to figure out if there's any feasible way I could slide Cinder into the schedule this month between moving to my new apartment this week and the Halloween album 7 MVs. I think November 9th is the very earliest I could do it. Very sorry, but if there's any projects after the date, y'all would like to do, I can lock it into my calendar 100%. Again, very sorry for any inconvenience. How long does it usually take for you to edit an MV? Oh my god, it gets super small. Depending on the complexity and the length, so optimal, it takes at least 2 weeks if there's a rush. Man just wants to get back to his oblivion. I see that over there, 12. How would you feel about me giving you everything for the MV now, work on it in between your other projects, and have it to me by October? I would really love to be able to squeeze you in, absolutely, if I could, but I generally don't have the dates free until November 9th at earliest. This month and start in November is literally just an ass beating on my schedule. Okay, thank you, though. You're missing out on a good one. Yeah, he's trying to guilt trip right there. I guess it goes this way. So we're going to go this way. When was it Yeah, this way. Okay, yeah, it goes this way. When was it you're free again? The things have pushed back a lot. November 9th was the earliest. And bow until the first week of December, I think. Is Cinder coming out now? When it's ready. SpongeBob, ha ha ha, low. Lol, la-famau, wow, laugh my fucking ass off. To be honest, I'll probably start on in a day or two after I wrap up Val's MVs, just in case. This song is a lot of typography. Is that something you're good with? Can I hear it? If not, no worries. So I can get an idea. Is it English or JP? English. A lot of the animated text between different fonts. But yeah, that's fine. Is this just one still image she's using for artwork? No, I can send you more details in a week or two. Yeah, that would be good. Just hit me up when you have more info. I'm super down. Are you available? Sorry for getting back to you so late. Oh, good. I'm still 100% down. I wouldn't be able to start until the first or second week of December and release mid-December is okay. We're hoping for a November release. Yeah, that would be possible. Okay, so October 23rd, they talked about this. Nothing mentioned until after the date he said that Zach said that it could start. They're pushing shit back, constantly changing. Lord have mercy. Hearing it read is so frustrating. Exactly. Are you available? Sorry for getting back to you so late. I'm still wanting to blah, 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 blah. We hope in November at least, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I'm still super down, and I really hope to be able to work with Cinder on this video, but my schedule is always super packed and full, planned weeks and months ahead without much wiggle room. So let me know what y'all would like to do or feeling. What if we paid you double? I could send you and fuck shit and I'll cook. I guess that's what it is. I don't know. You can send the invoice to blank whenever. We'll get it paid ASAP. Also, I'm not sure on what they were on about Bao not knowing about me working with them, since I asked Bao with Cinder and Red standing right next to me at TwitchCon if this was fine, since I had agreed to do all the Halloween album stuff and would probably miss one of the songs. She said no problems at all. So Bao didn't have any problems with any of this. Alright. So there's a Google Doc link. I come bearing gifts. I hope the girlies like it. Also, the stream was pushed back for the reason of the video wasn't done yet. Song was going up at 2 p.m. if I remember. However, this part really got under my skin for the fact that it was just straight up not true. And if something goes wrong in the video production line, no matter who's at fault, the blame will fall onto the editor, animator, pretty much every time. I'm still not sure why stream was pushed back. So it felt as if I was getting passive-aggressively blamed publicly on the stream in front of thousands for the lateness really upset me, since the video was not late even under a very tight deadline, where I did not receive all the artwork until the 18th. The first full master until the 19th. And I was asked to make a teaser version as well as an ad for the end of the video for her merch on the 21st. Which I was not informed of at all prior to planning. So I also had skipped going home Thanksgiving after having family member pass to get this video done and rush the hell out of it. Jesus Christ, someone passed away, but they were so pushed and stressed and guilt-tripped by Red and Cinder that they didn't even go to, like, see their family on Thanksgiving. Jeez! Nah, I agree. Nah, fuck that. The entire video was done from scratch a little under 2 weeks, since there were quite a few both visual and audio assets I did not have at the time that even remotely resembled what the final product would sound like. So, I felt this was an attack on my work ethic, which is something that I take quite a lot of pride in, understandably. I did not receive the merch assets until the 27th as well either. Okay, I can't, that's a lot. Dude, you're nuts. Everyone loves it. Thank you so much for grinding out their sack. My friends are going to love the song, blah, blah, blah. I think, yeah, this is just talking about where to put merch in, a little bit, some edits. Okay. Chorus color changes, tricky eye fix. Chorus trailer for Twitter. Individual trailers for also Twitter. Alright. Even with revisions and all the extra trailers, the video was complete and delivered on time, even with enough time for YouTube to process the 4K version. There's probably more I should clarify, since I'm aware that this is unbelievably poorly organized. Honestly, it's not that badly organized. You did pretty good on this. I will say that, Zach. You did pretty good on it. But I've tried, and I don't feel like giving any more energies to people. If anyone has questions, just DM me. So what this means is, open a new tab. We're going to follow Sack. That's what that means. We're going to follow Sack. We're going to see where Sack goes. But Jesus! This hole is just getting worse and worse as we go down. This is a labyrinth, a dungeon that keeps on going. And it seems every time we take on a boss, another one appears. How fucking self-conceited, how self-centered do you gotta be? And how of a you gotta date a manipulative boyfriend like Red? Sorry, possibly married, by the way, like Redacted. This is a lot. Okay. Smorphus, a lot of stuff's happened. I'm still doing a deep dive, but to go so far, a super TLDR, a artist and rigger named Nano came out showing that Cinder and Redacted, who is her boyfriend or husband and manager, manipulated Nano for years, and to try and get Nano to go exclusively for her so she would cancel projects on Bow the Whale, Silver Veil, other artists, and was also trying to prevent another VTuber from getting big, even bigger than they were. Other stuff has come out to where it proved that Cinder has stolen ideas from Spite, who is a Cerberus VTuber. Because whenever Spite did something a couple months later, Cinder was also putting this stuff out, basically saying it was her idea. So you also found out that Cinder would send her community to attack Spite. So after finding everything out, Bao put her own personal experience out, because Cinder and Redacted were saying, hey, Bao's stealing artists and, like, editors and stuff from us and keeping them under lock and key, which we just read over the document of the one they were referring to, which was way not true, nowhere near close in reality. Sacramore, who did a lot of MVs for Cinder and other people, wanted to go exclusive willingly for Bao and brought it up to Bao because they wanted to work uncredited so they can focus on their own things and eventually become their own content creator. But Cinder and Redacted twisted it and used it to manipulate other people, saying, hey, Bao's overworking people, stealing people, pushing them to the brink, and we don't want that to happen to you, so work for us while we overwork you. So now it's all coming out. Silvervale leaving her... Silvervale was another good example of all this, because Silvervale never wanted anything to do collabs or anything monetized with, like, you know, merch deals or anything like that. Yes, Cinder was talking mad trash about Bao and taking advantage of all the stuff she was telling her in private as a friendship. That's what it's all looking like right now. We still have the apology of Cinder to get to. We are 2 hours in, by the way! 2 hours in! And we're still nowhere near done. But Silvervale basically said, hey, Cinder was pushing all this stuff on me. I kept telling her, no, no, no. I don't want to collab. I don't want to merchandise or do anything of that nature. Well, Cinder started pushing her community and started to attacking Silvervale. Cinder started twisting who Cindervale was, telling other content creators, possibly merch brands, everything else, twisting it so Silver didn't get any opportunities, couldn't develop friendships, etc., etc. All this is coming out now, and we are doing a full dive through all of it. So we just finished Sacramore, who go follow, by the way, because they do good work. And now that I know who the editor is for a bunch of the Bao stuff, please go check. Yeah, this is, yeah. It's way bigger than all that stuff. And once again, for this video that's going up raw tomorrow on YouTube, so it'll be the 29th of April. This happens a lot in the VTuber and streaming community, as well as the YouTube content creator community. The only reason why this is coming out now and blowing up and taking people by storm left and right is because of how big Cinder was and the people involved. But this happens all the time in this world. All right. Now, let's look at see what Bao's channel manager has to say, who was also specifically infected, mentioned, etc. Hello, I'm Bao's channel manager. Yes, I was there in a call with Kaiser, Bao, Sack, and Bao encouraged Kaiser to take the raise. It was also definitely something that she thought would also be best for him. Unplug their internet. That would be the best thing. Bao supported any opportunity Kaiser would choose to go. So what we are learning as well is how realistically Bao has been beyond supportive of all these people who do stuff for her. She doesn't take away opportunities. If anything, she encourages them. Hey, this is going to better you. I'd rather you drop what you're doing for me and go better yourself. And that is an amazing, beautiful thing to see out of all this gook and grime and shit that's happening right in front of us. To see that Bao's actually a very supportive, like, boss, manager, and stuff of that nature. Also, Giga from V Shoujo also did stuff with Nano. Now they realize that Cinder, apparently, is affected for Giga. So Cinder also stuff with, I guess, Gigi or Giri? It might be Giga. Maybe. I'm not sure. It's either Onigiri or Giga. I'm not sure about when they referenced that. But now we're all... I guess Nano just also was told to stop doing stuff for Giga, which is insane. And this was probably before she joined V Shoujo. And it probably got worse after she joined V Shoujo because Cinder didn't like that. Because Cinder couldn't be part of V Shoujo. This is a lot. This is fucking insane. This is a lot to take in. Alright. Poor Giga. In the crossfires. Wasn't even doing anything. Who knows? Okay, so this was one other thing I wanted to look at. If anyone's wondering about Cinder's Discord, they fucking locked everything down. Holy cow, this is absolutely insane. Shithole after 5 mentions in Cinder's behavior, cheating, and jealousy, backstabbing, and toxic boyfriend. So, It looks like, don't even get me started on this person's 200 plus notifications. Hold on. 201. Oh, it's because of Twitch streams and stuff like that. Okay, that's fair. So the moment this all broke out, it looks like they locked this shit down. They locked it down on the Discord so nothing broke out. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Ooh, that's smart for damage control, but that does not help your look whatsoever. Is there any other, like, docs that I missed here? Oh, that's to tweet from Vamps. Nope, I got everything here. Okay. So now, Sinder release an apology document. Oh my god, it's all words! Okay. This is now officially Sinder. Yeah, look, the problem is, there's no ukulele involved. If there was a ukulele, this would have gotten way better, I feel like. This apology probably be good. I have no idea what this says, but there's no ukulele, so it's already like a 0 out of 10, alright? Like, my friend in Cinder's Discord just said Cinder locked her Discord. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Alright! This is what we've been waiting for, people! The official apology! With no ukulele, no toxic gossip train to be heard. But it's all written out, so let's see. I'm gonna take a sip of water here. God, man, if I was only toxic gossip train, man. Alright, also, for those watching, ads in 3 minutes. There's nothing I can say to make this better, but I will try my best to properly convey my feelings, frustrations, and mistakes. I'd like to explain my point of view and apologize to each party affected. Redacted has been my co-content creator since I began making content, managing all aspects of what I do, and being a major part of why I'm here. We have also been in a relationship since the start of my endeavors. It's no secret that many VTubers choose to keep their public and personal lives separate. And I'm no different. As of yesterday, he is no longer working with me, and I have not extensively discussed any of this with him. Where our personal situation goes from here will be figured out between us privately. I never intended to mention this publicly, but given the claims are out here, I want everyone to know that I'm taking this seriously. After years of working on everything together, his hyper-business-oriented outlook warped my view of what... I'm going to finish this before I even comment. Views of what is and I should be doing. And what should be most important to me is that as I navigate this career path, I have a terrible work-life balance as it is, and being around projects and streams all day, every day, made me lose sight of the point. It took all this happening for me to realize that this behavior isn't normal or healthy, and it is not an outlook I want to have. This doesn't absolve me of the things I willingly done wrong and went along with, or the way I have treated people who were fully undeserving. So, right off the bat, she's throwing her boyfriend, husband, whoever he is, under the bus immediately. She's also saying and it's fair. I agree with this statement though. Keeping your relationship separate and you don't want it to be public, that's perfectly fine. There is a difference though between willingly doing that to get money and just keeping it for safety reasons. Now that I know that he's actively your manager and stuff of that nature, you're supposed to keep those separate to begin with. I feel like a lot of it could have been avoided if he was never in there to begin with. Also, I totally get why, another reason why people don't mention relationships is because of parasocial relationships. It affects money, blah, 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 blah. However you want to look at that. So, in regards to Nanolus, for the majority of the time working with her, Red was the one almost solely doing the communications about new plans and negotiations through their private DMs. Nano had a project server where we were all a part of, where the actual art and models we worked on were worked on, but the conversations were focused around the work itself. I was not fully aware of the extent of Red's manipulation over Nano's commission's decisions, and I should have been more diligent in my oversight. Every time I had been told that Nano had agreed to work on a new commission. My phone is blowing up, sorry if you hear it. With me, it has been willingly and with excitement. From my point of view, it was that she genuinely wanted to be working with me on these things. I wanted to work with Nano as much as I possibly could, making her art the face of my brand. When we had come to the conclusion that it'd be in my best interest to talk with Nano about making more time on my projects by negotiating. Sorry, I'm putting this somewhere where it won't vibrate quite crazy. By negotiating with her to cut out other work, this was wrong for us to push onto her, and it was wrong to the other creators who wanted a chance of working with her. There was only one specific creator we were responsible for naming and pressuring Nano into reconsidering projects with, and not an entire list. Of her own volition, Nano canceled a large portion of her models and pushing stuff blame on the Okay, hello, welcome back. She's pushing this on the Nano, saying, "Oh, we only told her to avoid Bao, pretty much, not all these other people." That's what she's saying. We're responsible for naming and pressuring Nano into reconsidering projects, now with the entire. Of her own volition, Nano canceled a large portion of her model commissions last September. However, the claim that I was using her is wrong. I have always treated Nano with respect and as my friend. I did give her a lot of work, and we did everything we could to accommodate her schedule if she needed more time or a break, even if it helped her with her own project payments and multiple times. I invited her on my stream, and I've sent her merch and things that she's made for me. And I was always open to talking to her about the things outside of our own projects and the instances we would message each other. In regards of exclusivity deal made between them, I had no part in direct negotiations of the eventual agreement, and I had no acknowledge of Bao or Cotton being included in this list. If I had known friends were included, I would have said something to put a stop to it. I was only aware of being one person who was unfortunately pursuing. So she was still trying to screw someone over. It was wrong of us, but we still did it. Yep, exactly. When Nano had messaged me about this arrangement almost a month later, I was under the assumption that this was only about Silvervale. So I was upset, and my initial message to her was very guilt-trippy. So she's admitting actively going after Silvervale, by the way, right here. Just putting out, actively admitting about Silvervale. I was upset, blah, 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 blah. But I wasn't trying to force Nano into doing anything she wasn't okay with, and tried reassuring her that I was okay with her decision. Nano also never came to me, has also never come to me as seriously and professional as her document was looking to address the issues she had with either of us, or to terminate our partnership. I had no idea there wasn't even a conversation about Shy Lily recently between Red and Nano until reading the document. It's true, I had confined and read that lately I haven't been hearing from Lily like I had in the past, and I was worried something was wrong. But that's as far as it went. And he took it upon himself to try and digging for more info. And I was never aware that Nano was planning on working on a model for other friends. Geary. I guess they are talking about Onigiri. I do not condone anything about what Red said about Bao in these DMs, either and him using we and an R in our context is horribly incorrect. And yes, Red and I were initially upset when Bao hired my editor, and I took it personally when I shouldn't have. It felt as maybe my content wasn't good enough, or I was I wasn't paying enough for his work. But I accepted it and was happy for him getting that bag. And supported one of my friends at the same time. And yes, I was also upset with Sack, the Boss Rush AMV editor, had told us that he wouldn't be working on any future projects with us, instead would exclusively work for Bao. But Red got in his head it was Bao's fault that it happened, and seemingly held a grudge against her. He was very passionate about Boss Rush and the potential future projects around it, and he told me without an AMV editor as talented as Sack, future projects wouldn't reach the same heights. So he created this headcanon that laid out in those DMs. There's a lot of blaming your partner here, Cinder. Where's your accountability here, hun? I wasn't convinced that this was the case, but it was my fault for never speaking with Bao about these things directly and clearing up things and letting it spiral to this point. Every comment here about her music, guilt-tripping claims about our shared feeling towards her are disgusting, and honestly, I don't know why he thought this way about my close friends beyond the resentment over those things and why it was worth sabotaging her over. It's just business screenshots of my DMs with Nano document from November of 2023, and I'll go into my thought process of everything I said here. What Red was trying to explain to Nano is that if everyone has a model by her, then the innate value of her models overall are diminished by her being oversaturated with oversaturated? There's that guilt tripping again, man. Like, that doesn't mean they're oversaturated. It just means they're good value. And from what I'm gathering, is Nano wasn't like copy paste. Everything was custom. Everything was different. What kind of fucking shit are you still on? That's not applied here. There is no oversaturation. Oversaturation is if it was basically a cut and paste free model that everyone was using with a little bit tweaks here and there. That is not the case in this. You are too good. Your art is too good, but if you keep making it, it won't be cool anymore. That's exactly how I'm taking it as well. What is this utter bullshit I'm reading? Oversaturation of that type of model out there. If everyone in the world had a VTuber model done by her, then the value of having her model wouldn't be the same as if it were only a handful of them, which he viewed as negative for me. I understand where he was coming from with this, but in a VTuber space, isn't something we should have pursued. Nano has an amazing skill, which she's able to draw each of her VTuber children uniquely. So I was never upset seeing new model siblings. In many cases, I was there cheering them on in their debuts and looking to collab with them as sisters when I could. Me saying that it's just business was referring to the acceptance of Nano's business decisions, whether she chose to work with me or not. This was not in reference to anyone's model being canceled, further explaining to her that it's okay that she chooses not to work with me. I can understand where the next part can sound manipulative, but my intention was to reminisce about the journey we had together up to that point. Since at this time I wasn't sure if this is where Nano and I would stop working together as frequent as we had been, I would have to look for a new model artist, then encourage her. I encouraged her to work on projects she's excited about. Hi, Nightwolf. This is massive grade A bullshit. I agree. She's excited while working to find another project. When talking about Silvervale, I needed to start at the beginning before I was Cinder. I was a pink cherry blossom girl named Tashi. I did ASMR content. When VTuber boom happened in 2020, I knew I wanted to join in. Red and I contacted an artist in October, and they were set to start my VTuber design in December. The plan was to make my cherry blossom persona Tashi and make her a pink and white wolf girl VTuber. In November of the same year, Silverveil released her Sakura wolf design. I have heard of Silverveil earlier in the year, but I didn't watch her streams at all. We knew we had to pivot before we were stuck with a design that would just be a copy of one of the most popular VTubers at the time. Like I explained many times on my stream, I knew I wanted to be a wolf girl, so I mixed my love for okami and metal music into the design, and it came out with a hellhound. My name was originally going to be Ember, but Red came up with the name Sinder since it was a mix of sin and cinder. Okay. See, both hell and fire themed. It was only a coincidence that it ended up being being similar to Silver. I was genuinely interested in pursuing friendship with her, and I drew fan art of myself with her together. On the other hand, Red was in my ear the whole time, saying how great it would be to work together. And again, since he's been business oriented side of my brand, since I started streaming, I have been ruthlessly compared to Silverveil, being called discount version of her. I was accused of copying her design, personality, even copying her laugh, of all things. Then there was a large number of people who were diehard believers that I stole all these attributes maliciously from my own game, citing the art I posted together alongside her, calling her an inspiration. When in reality, we're stealing for someone. In reality, I was referring to the decisions of solely becoming a hellhound. The only time Silverveil was mentioned in the original design character was when I explained we were pivoting to something else, and there were no references of her character involved. I grew more and more resentful of Silver over time. See, this is where she's actively saying she went after Silver. Emphasis on sin, or just for tired of a V2. I would say isn't totally destroyed, but she needs to act accordingly. And now I think, all right, I'm going to take a pause here. I think her career is destroyed. How people are reacting, they're never going to let her forgive this. How much stuff has come out also is going against her. And people are actively destroying her merch, by the way, which is insane. Like putting it in fire because, haha, hellhound, whatever. Also, I love how she grew resentful over Silver over nothing, it seems. Whether Silverveil actually sent people after her or not, I don't know. I'm not saying she did. Who knows? We will never know. It was never talked about. But fans are fans, and fans do what they want, and they think they're doing their best for the Oshi and attacking other people, which never works out, is never the right thing to do. Alright, this kind of more resentful over Silver over time, being a constant belittling of myself, a controversy wrapped around my first waifu cup, and other incidents. Even though she herself never interacted with me directly, and it was also the fact that made me insecure. Like, I wanted to know if she believed all these things or not. It really felt as if she didn't like that I existed in the same space. So at the point I was working with Nano consistently, we brought up not making any more models for her. If a VTuber model is how someone recognizes you, then it'd be harder to compare us directly if we no longer look alike or shared similarity. It was a wrong and selfish decision, but it made me feel better. And that's why it was a constant topic with Nano. Red pushed for this harder than I had ever did because he knew how it affected me for years, but no matter what the outcome was, I was never going to walk away from working with Nano. Silver was also completely undeserving of this treatment, and it was my own insecurities that led me to making this choice. I became unapologetically evil towards her due to the actions of her own, not direct actions of her own. There is no excuses for any of this. Moving on from Silverveil, let's talk about spite. Once again, I have no involvement or knowledge of Red bringing up spite to Nano in 2023. My own personal involvement with excluding someone specific from Nano was Silver. My design sheet and outfit were finished and made public at the very start of 2021. The first thing she mentions was a debut tease trailer in 2022 that wasn't apparently posted on the same day. Was apparently posted on the same day as original debut, which I honestly don't know if at the time this was intentional or not. I don't know when I was first discovered Spite, and it could have been after she debuted. When my first debut was I was very possessive of my design details. I have made it a year and a half since my design sheet finished and publicly having a full VTuber debut. As I watched everything grow and change from the sidelines, I didn't want anyone to capitalize on my concept before I could. So after my original debut, I remember Spike getting an update on her model, and it made it seem like she more closely resembled me. So, what Cinder is saying, she didn't know Spite, but she's implying that Spite saw her shit, so she's changing it to be closer to her stuff. And she's saying her stuff was out before Spite's debut? So since now she was putting that stuff out, Spite changed her stuff to be closer to Silvervale. That's what I'm getting out of that. Tell me if I'm wrong in reading that, by the way. Yes, she is confirming that she doesn't understand that people can have similar ideas. That's what I'm getting out of this. At least in the beginning. She said this was all in the very beginning, by the way. Very beginning. This is how she felt. Whether she still feels like that, I don't know. Including fire added to her model. Without evidence, I saw it and thought she must have copied me, but I never did anything about it other than voice my frustrations to Red. I didn't start drama with anyone. I didn't have ownership over fire as a design detail. I didn't want to start drama with anyone. I didn't have ownership over the references for the ripped t-shirt and shorts of my bikini model were given to Nano in June of 2022 with the purpose of having a cover-up outfit to make it safe for Twitch. The merch art she's referring to was designed around the concept of my fire changing blue. The fact that the rest of the art was grayscale was the artist's choice since it was going back on the back of a hoodie. I didn't have a say, or at least I didn't counter that being the final decision. There was no intention of deliberately looking in like Spite with this piece. Unfortunately, my Angel and Sleepy outfits, being similar to Spite, have done in the past, just a coincidence. I also planned one day to make an Angel counterpart to my Demon outfit when it was being made in 2023. My original reference sheet laid out the groundwork for this idea. I never liked the theming around my brand in a religious rite, so I chose to make my Angel form more of a Greek Valkyrie than biblical, which also gives me a similar look to my demon form. The Sleepy outfit was a last minute decision to pivot for my fully 3.0 model. This is because of the opportunity to work with gamer subs on the AFK flavor. Spite never should have received the hateful comments of her outfit or any of the comments comparing us and belittling her because of my existence, and I had never advocated for anyone to do this, especially given my experience. Okay, alright. Joe, this reminds me of the SS Sniper Wolf situation where Sniper Wolf was saying channels were stealing her content, but it's all React content. That's what I'm getting off of this too. So, no one's allowed to have any of the similar stuff, so it's like how cat VTubers can claim certain cat girls? Yeah, something like that. That's what I'm getting out of this. Oh my god. Why don't they just form a pack together? Yeah, exactly. Like, it would have been smart just to, like, reach out and do all this stuff. This is a lot of vindictive shit. Hold on. I need to go use the restroom. So, recording, I'll be right back in a second. Okay, now we're back. We're going to look at the Twitch rules. I should have left the toy thing in here, probably. Rules of threes, but not for me. Huh. So if I look like someone, it's coincidence. If they look like me, they copy me on purpose. Yep, that's what a lot of people are saying here. Silver fans attacked me for looking like her. I'm mad at Silver. My fans attacked someone else for looking at me. Fans will be fans. That's exactly how I'm reading that too right now. Alright, let's get back to it. Alright. Did I miss anything else here? Nope, got everything. Alright. Spite also brought up another creator who reached out to her for experiences with me. I can only assume it's Neanderthals. They're an ASMR artist who at one point posted a Hellhound OC for one of their upcoming ASMR videos. It was undoubtedly created using me as a reference. This was right after my debut, and like I said, I was very protective of my design elements being unique to me, and I overreacted. Shortly after, I recognized that they agreed to adjust the character design and thought that matter was settled. At the very start of my online career, I was a GFE ASMRist. Before I started my channel, I had gotten into listening to roleplay audio myself. I've always been a shut-in throughout high school and college and wasn't happy where my life was and relationship were at the time. After uploading a few audios my channel started growing fast. This was the first time I inaugurated with so many people wanting to know me and talk to me, and I got lost in the excitement of all of it, and not fully coming to terms with these messages being because of the kind of content I was making. I was immature and inexperienced with how to conduct myself online. I never had many IRL friends and met Rain doing ASMR. I quickly became comfortable with chatting with him about everything, divulging my grievances, my personal life when I shouldn't have. I cheated on my boyfriend with Rain in these conversations, flirting and sexting. I used Rain for emotional comfort and sexual fantasy while let my real life relationship collapse. Well, yeah. So this was before she was Cinder, she cheated, and we looked at the Rain document at the beginning, but to cover it, basically when Cinder was Tashi or whatever, when she was doing the ASMR stuff, she met Rain and then she sexted and they both willingly cheated. It wasn't like one-sided where Rain didn't know that she had a boyfriend. Rain willingly knew that she had a boyfriend and they both cheated with each other. Well, I don't know if Rain was dating anyone, but Rain willingly helped her cheat. It was discussed, shown, screenshots, none of the sexting stuff, but there was plenty of other stuff there. So I used Rain for emotional comfort and sexual fantasy while letting my real-life relationship collapse. It was about my dissatisfaction with my personal life and escaping into the messages with someone else who I found through content and forced around GF and BF roleplay. So this was roleplay, nothing real, according to her. It was never about climbing the ladder with Rain, and I find that being his takeaway from this, why I moved on, is baffling. At the same time, I was ready to be a Cinder. I wanted to leave that in the past. Still to this day, I regret my decisions and have been living with it since. I was lucky to be able to mend my relationship after this. Oh, so yeah, she was dating Redacted at the time and was pissed at Redacted. Okay, so that was confirmed. Is this worse than the Gunpie VTuber situation? Like I said, this is I got references. This right here is a basically very good summary of what's happening. You got a quick sneak peek. Lastly, I want to address Peaches. This is a very big problem I have, and I'm very sure many of you others in my position do. At the end of the day, I'm one person working on multiple projects with multiple companies, talking to dozens of people and streaming hours almost every day. I never had a big social battery, and I tried very easily when interacting with other people. I haven't had energy at all over the past year, leading to me taking frequent naps. I've rarely been able to keep up with my closest handful of friends on a frequent basis, let alone anyone else. Red has also been a big help in keeping up with things, but he doesn't do everything. I'm so sorry that you feel like you've forgotten Peaches. Oh, I must have missed someone's document. Okay. It's fine. It's whatever it is now. I've always cherished your friendship, and I'm very incredibly excited to meet you in Paris. I am so grateful for everything you've done for me. I never thought purposely dropping you so I could. So it sounds like Cinder probably dropped someone because they were done climbing the ladder with them. That's what it sounds like. But I don't know. I didn't read the document. It's too late now. I'm already on the apology. But, I mean, given everything else, she's twisting everything for what it sounds like. I'm sorry. I know I've made a lot of people feel forgotten and ignored, so it's easy to get caught up in projects. And from what I'm doing, while I have the energy to do it, I see the people around me fall by the wayside. I understand the feelings of those who resent me over this, and all I can say is I'm sorry. I don't deserve to be in contact with everyone involved directly to personally apologize, so I'll do it here in a chance they read it, knowing full well they will read it. So, yeah, Ultra, I'm almost done. I'm doing a full deep dive here. 10 Nano. I am so sorry I let things get to the point we even entertained the thought of you working exclusively for me. It's not fair to you. I wouldn't be here without you, and wouldn't have been able to do most of what I've already done without you. I feel overly attached to our relationship over the past 4 years, and I loved your work so much that I wanted to make it myself exclusive to your art. I should have never sought those feelings to be reciprocated. Everything you've ever worked on for me has always been so perfect. I lost sight of how someone else ever around me would have felt. I have no intentions of pressuring into you anything, but looking back, my clouded judgment, I can see how my messages felt that way. I've talked about how my models helped you improve, looking back on how far we've come together. We've been friends for so long and cheered each other on when we both started and growing, getting more opportunities like plushies, figures, etc. You have been my exclusive artist for full live 2D model for the majority of this time as a VTuber, and of course, I would have been sad if you didn't want to continue that relationship. But in all of our private DMs, I was okay with you ultimately just doing whatever you feel was best for yourself after trying to guilt trip them. Keep that in mind. I saw you as someone I trusted and loved and wanted to make sure you were still taking care of yourself with all the projects you took on. Mine or otherwise. I never saw you as just a business partner. I thought I was reassuring you that I'd understanding if I wanted to move on to other projects. I genuinely appreciated your friendship, and I saw you as a close friend. I'm sorry for what I put you through. Yikes. Yikes. Yikes, more guilt trip. That sub went up for air. We're going back down, people. Dive! To Bao. Since the start, I have always admired you, and how genuine you always been to everyone. I wouldn't be here without you either. I'm disgusted with myself for buying into the narrative that my friends were competition. This is still very manipulative, by the way. Just putting that out there. Very manipulative. And I would never have such genuine friendships in my life, especially with you. We've gotten to know each other so well online and in person. You've always been there through so much, and the last thing I wanted to do was cause more harm. But I did. I read that as I'm not sorry. I'm sorry for not reaching out sooner about these ideas that were put into my head. I wish I would have been able to talk about this. I didn't know about the severity of things which have been theorized about my own friends put behind my back until now. It's my own fault for not realizing the things that Red was saying about you. The countless friendships that I made here within the last several years mean so much to me than him and the business side of things. Oh no, my boyfriend manager, I don't really appreciate his feelings. It's his fault. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I'm innocent. I built this community. I've always been myself, whether that have been on stream or in person, and I hope the friends I've made can understand I've never condoned this behavior or anything that I said about my friends. I've always wanted someone around me to thrive and find happiness. I can't stress enough how disappointed I am that I didn't see this sooner until it got to the breaking point. I'm so sorry, Bal. To Sack. It's still manipulative to put private apologies on a public doc? Oh, 100%. Like I said before, the moment she said, oh, in case they read them, you know for a fact they're going to read it. The people are going to read this shit and tell people. To Sack, I love getting to chat with you in person. I absolutely loved all the hard work you put into the Boss Rush song. I am very grateful to hear you were on board with it at my MV. I don't remember exactly why the stream got pushed back, but it was I definitely wouldn't have blamed you on that, knowing how soon a deadline was, and so thankful for the willingness to do, despite everything, and the quality turned out incredible. I can't believe how Red talked to you, especially with all the effort you put in for me. I'm sorry for everything that happened. She doesn't mention the dead family member and missing Thanksgiving, by the way. Didn't say anything about that. Kind of a very fucking key thing for Sack. He dropped going to see family member during the holidays when someone passed away to work on his shit, and you don't even recognize that. That's fucked. To me, that's pretty fucked up. To Cotton and Lily, I'm sorry you got dragged into this. It is my fault for letting it get this far, but I hope you can believe me when I say I had no knowledge of Red bringing you up in Nana's DMs. I just learned about this all myself, and could have been so many other friends affected by this narrative, that things always had to be competitive. If I knew Red was trying to exclude specific friends in an exclusivity deal, I would have spoken up. None of my friendships are worth sacrificing over art pieces. Well, it's a little too late for that, hon. I love being a friend. I love being your friend and all the memories we shared, and I hope someday you can forgive me for allowing this to happen. To Silver, since the start, I have loved that I always saw someone else sharing so many similar interests to me, and I've thought maybe one day we could talk about it and be good friends. I was blinded by all these hate comments around me calling me your lesser half. I hate the person I have become towards you. I tried reaching out multiple times to start up a friendly conversation and change things and make things right. Say hi to a conversation and support the endeavors, but despite all that, I was still being eaten alive by my own doubts and fears and harassment. I was pressured by the community as a whole to try and reach out, since I got messages often so much comparing us. So she's comparing her want and pushing it on the community. Got it. And I hope we could work out something. The photo of me at the meet and greet was taken candidly, and I thought it looked cute, and I posted it without asking you anything, which was wrong of me. I was so wrong for letting everyone get in my head of all these malicious feelings. I'm so sorry for any opportunities I have taken away with you. I'm sorry, Silver. To Spite. Oh, Jesus Christ. She's the shortest of all of them! I am sorry I had assumed things about your designs that were true. I'm very sorry you harassed commentators and needing to compare us, and I apologize the way Red spoke about you today. You didn't deserve any of this. I'm sorry. Why is Spite's the shortest, though? That's fucking wild. Should at least made it, fluff it up at least a little bit to make it at least as big as Peaches. And like, again, this is one that I apparently missed, and it wasn't part of that thread, which is fine. You know, there was a lot coming out at that time. I'm sorry if to Peaches, I'm sorry if I made it seem like I was ignoring you or ghosting you. I was happy we had the same opportunity to meet. We had the opportunity to meet in person, and I was apologetic on how busy things were when we met at the time. I wanted to spend more time with you, but as I got more and more DMs and messages, everything became overwhelming. I've always had a low social battery, and that made it so hard for me to keep up to date with all my friends. I never had any ill feelings towards you, and I still don't. To Rain, you are the first person I met as an ASMR artist during the time where I was immature and avoidable, and ended up being consumed by the content I was making and led it to making awful decisions. I still think about and regret. I am not in a good spot at the time. I hated myself for this kind of behavior, and it takes a long time for me to move on for what happened. I have no excuses. I'm sorry you were dragged into my drama. I'm sorry how I made you feel. I wanted to just close books on looking at everything. Before I read her final statement to the community. This is a lot. This is so much. She, out of all of this, it's very manipulative to put the private apologies in public format, to put in front of everyone. She's still manipulating in throughout this apology, by the way, and I want to look and see what people say under her comments, because everyone's told me that under the apology, the comments are fucking wild, and I want to see this. But throughout this, she's blaming Red. She's blaming herself for being a sheltered child. She's not really taking direct blame for it, but she's also apologizing at the same time. But it's still all twisted and manipulative to me in throughout all this. I am so sorry to my pirate pups and my mods for expecting me to lead a better example than this. I am so sorry for the VTuber community for looking towards me as someone to aspire to. I am very sorry to Kaiser, who put his heart and soul into everything he's ever done for me, and not even talking to you about how I felt. I am sorry to the dozens of artists who have put their hard work into me. I am sorry to the rest of my friends who I've let down. I've led a bad example, and I don't expect forgiveness. I've made many mistakes over my 5 years on the internet, and I'm only one person. Living one life I get for the first and only time. Like everyone else, as I said at the start of this, I ended up developing an extremely unhealthy work-life balance. And the harm Red has caused, there we go, pushing Red back under the boss again, was caused with his view was irreparable. The way I've been perceiving things lately, not how I wanted to view the world going towards these things, shows there's a lot I need to know to address and improve. If I'm to continue being a content creator, if I wanted to prove I want to continue being a creator, I'm devastated that the friendships are so special to me, understandably, and never to be mended again. I love my job, I love my friends. Thank you all for reading. This was a... Ooh, just in case, I don't know what's going to pop up on Twitter. So let's go and look at the comments. Sorry, I didn't know how the... Okay. Switching over. Oh my god. Oh my god! Okay, alright. First thing I see on the apology, Shy Lily. Okay, before we do anything, alright, let's look at what chat's saying out of this. Write a lot so people don't take it all the way and just take it as an apology and ignore the details. Yeah, some of the comments are Warzone. Yeah, I'm fucking finding out real fast there, Night. At least Sinder apologized instead of playing the ukulele. I think the ukulele would have added to this, personally. Just throwing that out there. As a VTuber, apology not accepted. I feel so hurt and destroyed. I'm crying. I just can't stop due to the betrayal. Please pay me 500k when we call it even. K, thanks. Remember that, Scoop, when we have our beef in like a year and a half, okay? I'm going to expect 500k from you specifically. I don't know. Ukulele would have made it at least funny. I'm glad I'm on the same page with chat. Alright. You know exactly what it would have been like. Yeah. Alright! To the comments. The audacity to sit here and continue to manipulate and gaslight is insanity. The pain and mental torment you've caused to those closest and most supportive of you. Supported you have been devastating, and I have never been so heartbroken and hurt badly for my friends. You are the fakest person, Jesus Christ, fakest person I've ever had the displeasure of supporting. Reading and hearing how you've really viewed me behind my back, not just through screenshots of your man, but also your very own messages, while having to sit here and read through this bullshit of lies makes me want to vomit. Oh my god, Shy Lily! Oh god! The claim that you didn't know a single thing and had zero awareness of what your man was up to, when everyone who shared even a single moment with you knows you basically operate as the same person. Jesus. Sharing every waking thought while lovingly jumping at the slightest opportunity to turn it into your most slanderous self as soon as the opportunity was given. Even when talking about your friends is sickening. I have experienced your own actions without reds in a situation where you're on your own. Screenshotted words as you express a pressure to live up to is what Lily is, and proceeded to throw one of your most and loyal supportive friends under the bus after months of continuous plannings just because you consistently chose business over friends, never feeling bad for failing them. Just to earn the bag and with me over a V-Card collab that you rescheduled to be an exact date where your friend needed you to keep an important promise. You actively lied about it to them. Instead of blaming me for the collab you rescheduled and adding me to the pool of excuses to save your ass. When you realized you were being a bad friend, why blame me for choosing to miss an obligation you agreed to? One of the most important days of your friend's career. Everything you do is at a competition, though your constant need to one-up everyone, or one-up the people who are the sole reason for you even being these opportunities and platforms to earn it from to begin with. You are welcome, by the way. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my word. Oh my god. You claim that it's business, it's just business. Well, in the business world, there has to be accountability. All you've done is try shoving it away and admit to nothing. It's in true narcissistic fashion. You're only feeling sorry about yourself and your own consequences in your career and try to salvage it. I'm sorry for everyone who's looked up to you with inspiration, and especially your friends. Your higher pups deserve better. Holy shit, I'm retweeting that. Oh my god, Lily went in. Holy fuck. Dude, fuck off from Buff Puff. Vibe. The classic shift the blame onto the boyfriend fake breakup, come back single and in therapy, and then capitalize what's left of your community. They deserve better. There's Nanners. Let's see what Nanners got. Oh my god. Lily committed a war crime and I'm proud of her. That's wild. Joe Bongo apology video coming in. Joe's gonna be distracted with some of his fushigi skills. God, that's fantastic. Well, I'm doing it with the bongo. Anyway, focus on hand. I'm gonna go off script here. I've seen Silver receive so much harassment and unfair comparisons to you over the years, and she just tanked it. Minded her business and never once tried to sabotage your success or tear down anyone. I'm just gonna go ahead and like this. Deflecting and outright lying several times in this response, instead of fully owning up to your mistakes and insulting everyone. I can't help but feel very frustrated on behalf of my friend and everyone who was on the receiving end of so much unnecessary stress, largely due to the choices you made. They handled the situation much more grace than you decided to, and they deserve better. The weird backhanded remarks you made the first time we ever met last year stuck with me, and now it makes a lot more sense knowing that this apparently is how you normally view and treat people. I hope you learn from this and realize it's much easier to be kind people and be happy for the successful lovers. Jeez. You know it's big when Yochi's in the chat. Oh, Yochi! Yep, there's my... I love me some Yochi. I love me some Demon Girls. Alright, the countless of friendships I made here within the last several years means much more to me than him, and the business side of things is the way his way of thinking. This stuck out to me too. I am so disappointed. You have known Red since your college days and had a long-term relationship. How could you think it's okay just to put all the blame on him and pretend you didn't know what he was saying or doing as a manager? I don't believe this. Even if Red would have put out a statement saying that he in fact did the devil and everything is his fault, I wouldn't believe it because of how much it's convenient. There is no way he's been building your brand behind your back and the person you're closest with without knowing what's going on. Jeez. Tricky Wee, one of the people that she was close to, by the way, did a lot of stuff with. We all bonded, I thought, because we all did. We always dreamed of a friend group where we all felt safe and loved. Since we don't have any didn't have that as kids, a place where we could just be ourselves, no competition, not a brand, a place where we could never have to worry about being taken advantage of. We all confide in each other about these trusting situations. Oh no. So what I'm hearing is, I'm not going to read the rest yet. They were confined because they were abused or whatever when they were younger, and they wanted to have a place where they could be friends, they could be trusty, and now they want to know competition, all this stuff. So Cinder took it upon herself to rip it all apart to be competitive. Yes, we're all content creators with ambitious goals, and the memories we made together were significant to me. Yes, we need to work, but never should business come above a genuine friendship, where you step on people to get to the top. I thought we all wanted to vibe and have fun together. I never in my life dreamed there would be more betrayal, and you viewed your friends as competition. I am utterly heartbroken. I don't understand why a best friend would let such harmful words happen behind the scenes about another friend you claim to be close with. If you ever had feelings with these types of feelings, they should have been expressed to Nano and Bao before everything blew up, especially if they were supposed to be your close friends. The screenshots are so nasty and malicious, and now I'm seeing so many other people who have also experienced similar hurt. My heart goes out to them as well. We just wanted to be treated like human beings. I understand that people make mistakes. We all do, and we all grow from them. I hope both you and Red treat people with kindness and empathy moving forward. Instead of malicious and deceit. No more hurt, please. Alright, we're gonna edit a Val here, and they're gonna keep moving. It takes a lot for Trickery and Yost to respond to this, as they interacted with them insanely chill, not getting exactly. The two people who don't get into controversy are making something. It said something. I'm not seeing anyone ask for pain compensation. Does this mean I can make it up and out, ask for it? Yeah, I guess so. Lying and manipulating like this only twists the knife into hearts of the people you've hurt. You spit on their faces of the pirate pups who patiently waited for your side of the story and held out hope as a genuine apology and accountability. I hope one day you truly change. Exactly! She spit on the face of her community, people! What kind of shit? I just want to let you know that it took me around 30 minutes to read the whole thing, and I lost my voice in insanity. I rated it 3 out of 10. Mugen, I'm so sorry. I'm there with you. I'm losing my shit. Alright, we're ending on Veil, and we're gonna move on and finish up my thoughts, and that'll be it for the stream. Hi guys, Floppa here with the top contradictions of the comments, or of this document. Red did those bad things without my acknowledgement. Red was managing my career closely for years. Yeah, let me hydrate. No! I'm gonna ignore all your hydrates if you do it. I was possessive over my design details. I never wanted to start drama. I was immature when I first debuted. These issues lasted for years after my debut. I didn't have a say in my final merch art. I approved it without countering. I didn't want anyone to capitalize on my concept. I know I don't own fire. I appreciate my community and friends. I let competition and jealousy fester. This was never about climbing ladders, refers to Renee cheating, Ranny cheating, whatever you want to pronounce it. I grow my channel faster and getting lost in attention. I wanted to fix things. I posted pictures without asking, pushing collabs because fan pressure. Outcome: Cinder tries to portray herself as a passive victim of circumstance, immaturity, manager issues. What are actions? 12, I see your stuff, I'm choosing to ignore it. And over the years, damage, control, and owning up to mistakes, failure. Just gonna leave this here for a minute while I deal with this here. All right, fine. Hold on. You know what? We're going to leave this in here. I'm going to go get water and take this. I'll be right back. This is part of the video now. You can blame my mod at 12. Blame him for this random part in it. All right, that was all left in, by the way. Congratulations. So, what have we learned, chat? Go to the toilet again. Yeah, okay. Look. All right, you're hydrating. I get it. I'll finish this bottle in a minute. But this is insane. For all this to come out, for you to just twist it. There's a lot of people that waited for you to put your apology out, who followed you, who wanted to, like, believe in you. You just spat on their faces. You took things to a new level. You lied to everyone's face, especially considering how your closest business partner basically called you out on all the utter bullshit about how Red didn't know how you did things and that you didn't have anything to do with Red when it comes to business stuff, and then he went behind your back. She calls you out on that. She caused a war crime in those comments. But let's take a look at what Bao has to say as well. All right. How could you say that you didn't know? I showed you both my base model sketch from Nano WeebCon. We walked on stage and performed together. You were in the group chat where I shared my sadness over Nano suddenly canceling my model after we were so close to beginning the live 2D and rigging. And now to find out this, the day before I shared my sadness, in this conversation, it happened where that you ruined months of debut and prep planning and merch preparation. If you want to apologize to me, do it properly and stop hiding behind Red. So Bao calls her out on that bullshit. She calls her out on the bullshit, and that makes me happy. And with this, I'm going to leave with this picture from Smug Alana, which I think purposely and fully encapsulates all what's happening right now. This was an insane thing to come across. This is some of the worst shit I've seen in the VTuber community in a long time. Say what you want about the Nux controversy, the Taiga controversy, any of this shit. But this was bad. This was so bad. And to immediately be called out, proven wrong about her apology, how she manipulates in her apology, and does all that shit publicly when it should have been privately, and spit on top of her fan base on top of it, is fucking insane. And to be pointed out and proven that her manager knew every single step of the way, and they were like talking with it and everything. So anything Red said, basically Cinder was saying behind the scenes. That's what it's implied from how everyone said their relationship was. They were tit for tat. They were on top of everything together. There's not just one person saying this. Multitude of people are saying that's how it is. If I see a people come out of nowhere with proof and saying, like, proof and are all saying this, it has to be true. Cinder's not recovering from this. I don't care what anyone says. There's no way she's going to recover from any of this. And it sounds like she has a toxic marriage, relationship, whatever she's in is toxic as hell, and she needs to be worked on. I do want to end this video by stating this. My final thoughts. She needs help. She needs to go to therapy, go do everything she needs to do. She does not need to hurt herself. There are going to be plenty of people that are actively going to come after her. Do not go after her. All the damage is done. Her personal life, she's dealing with all that shit. There's going to be a lot of toxic, ungrateful fucking douchebags from Twitter and people who live on the internet going to attack her. It is going to be hell from her from now until probably 2 years down the line. There are still people out there that support her, but she can't be Cinder. She cannot be Cinder no more. That's done. This was taken out back in AC-130, up, Warthog up in the sky, obliterated that shit into the ground. She cannot be Cinder no more. So, this was a lot of toxicity, manipulation, wild shit that I just read. So those who stuck around for the 3 hours on YouTube, by the way, let me know what you guys think. We did this over live on Twitch. We did a live deep dive. I only did this because people came to me in my DMs and mentioned it when it was live that they wanted me to do a deep dive, give my opinions. It's very manipulative. Like, there's so much manipulation throughout it. It's very obvious that Cinder just didn't care and wanted to climb the ladder. It's been proven time and time again on all this, throughout all the proof, throughout everything that was shown, that that's what she wanted. And I hope this was like a cliff note. Like, there's Tectone did a cliff note out there if you really want to clean, like, cliff note, just one post. Oh, yeah. There's still going to be, and someone in chat also said, there's still going to be assholes in her Twitter DMs DMing her, threatening her, and I hope it never comes to that. Unfortunately, it's probably going to do that. What comes of this is shown that at least the genuine good people in the VTube community, we saw Bao being good to her staff, etc. And it's exactly what I said before. And during all this, Bao is a fantastic boss. She cares about her people. She cares more about their mental health and better opportunities. If she's openly said, you have a better opportunity with them, go to them. Screw me, go do what you need to do. You get paid more. Go to them. Better yourself. And she's okay with that. That proves how much of a good person she is. Yeah, so, welcome to Death of a VTuber, seeing someone's career explode. So let me know what you all think. I love you all, I appreciate you all, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!